Blog Talk Radio.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire
LCS Hockey.
Yeah, I am the Lord and Master of the Ring, and you're going to find that out one athlete to another right now. You can't be with me, no. History beckons the Macho Man, yeah. Never do it, Slim Jim, oh yeah.
And we're off. It's the only talk show that discourages people from calling. It is the LCS Hockey Radio Show, brought to you as always by Honest John Churchfield and by the #1, once again, non-updated hockey site in all the land, LCSHockey.com. LCS, karate chop to the throat. How about that, Mike Dow?
I don't know what that's from.
Yeah, well, the Oklahoma kid knows what that's from.
Okay.
That's his little catchphrase.
All right.
Yeah. He's like, he always types on the Facebook stuff like, people that say that it's the heat, not the humidity. Karate chop to the throat.
No, I wasn't aware.
Yeah. That's
I don't spend much time on this Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah. Is your Twitter acting up today by chance?
I wasn't on it too much. I don't know.
What do you mean you weren't on it? You
I only tweeted about 4 or 5 things, not the usual 30.
What's going on over there?
I'm very busy. I'm sick as a dog today. Just really sick.
Huh. Yeah, look at that. All right, here we go, Mike Dell. A new strain of marijuana is floating around Canada and is named after pop star Justin Bieber. J.B. Kush is taking the Great White North by storm, and people really seem to enjoy it. But the growers advise that one of the side effects is becoming famous for no reason. Becoming famous for no reason is what I'm saying there, Mike Tell.
Yeah, repeating it really doesn't make it any better.
Does it make it worse?
Not really. It's about the same.
All right, fair enough. Last night on Dancing with the Stars, Pittsburgh Steeler Hines Ward became this season's champion and took home the Mirror Ball Trophy. Now, with the addition of the trophy, he's only 1 ball away from Tina Fey.
Hey.
Why? Huh?
Well, apparently that's implying that she has 4 balls.
Why is that?
Because doesn't Hines have 2 already, and then he wins a mirror ball, and then, or are you saying
Not
Hines
really.
doesn't have any balls at all?
That's
Yeah, is that a joke about Tina Fey or Hines Ward? Which one?
Both.
Oh my goodness.
It's a double jab.
Yeah.
All right. How about this, Mike Dell? I got what I like to call pick your punchline. You ready?
Oh, these are my favorite. Like a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah. Pick your punchline. In a recent interview, Courtney Love says that she's looking for a, quote, really, really rich guy. She says that now that she's sober, she really wants to plan for the future and would like to make sure she's taken care of after she murders this husband.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay? That's punchline number 1. That's punchline number 1 there, Mike Dell. All right? Or, in a recent interview, Courtney Love says that she's looking for a, quote, really, really rich guy. She says now that she's sober, she really wants to plan for the future and would like to make sure she's taken care of. When reached for comment, Dave Grohl suggested she look in the mirror.
Oh, because she looks like a really rich guy.
Yeah. She's a man. She's got a man
I like the
face.
first punchline better. Because it deals in truth, you know? That's always nice.
And justice in the American way.
Yeah.
All right. So tonight, Mike Dell, we're going to talk hockey, I guess, and then whatever, and then TV or something and something else. And then later on, we're going to talk about other things, and then wrestling. How about that, Mike Dell? We're going to talk about wrestling in the second hour.
Yeah, the second hour of the show, nothing but wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling.
Because you heard, Larry, we had the Macho Man Randy Savage music to lead off the show. He passed away, like last week, age of 58. And so we're going to pay tribute to the Macho Man a little bit in the second hour. We'll talk some wrestling, our top 11 wrestlers, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And our buddy
exciting.
Lance Miller will come on because he's a wrestling aficionado.
Right.
An expert.
That's true. He is an expert.
A raconteur of wrestling stories.
And we're gonna maybe test his theme music knowledge a little bit.
Yeah, I have the audio for my wrestler, so we'll play the clips and see how long it takes him to guess who the wrestler is. And then,
All right, that's good. All right, Mike Dell, let me ask you this: do you know what happened 20 years ago today?
I believe the Penguins won the Stanley Cup or something, right?
Yes, that is correct. Can you believe it's been 20 years, Mike Dell? 20 years is gone.
Yeah, we're very old. Yeah.
I'm like, back when the Pens won the Cup, I was like just getting ready to graduate high school and that sort of thing. Whole life ahead of me. 20 years later, Mike Dell, I'm sitting in a corner right now in the dark doing a fake podcast for up to dozens of people.
Yeah, you've come a long way. Well, I got to tell you,
Yeah.
much more than I thought you had ahead of you. So
That's true. All right.
Well, I didn't really meet you though, Larry, until you were well into your 20s, right?
Yeah. Not well into. I'd say
Yeah.
I was probably like 23, 24, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Mike Dell, you want to talk hockey,
Yeah.
and I want to talk hockey.
I know
but
you want to talk hockey.
I love it. I can't get enough of these playoffs. Is there a game tonight?
Yeah, Boston, Tampa Bay. I'm watching it.
Who's
I don't
winning
even know
that?
what the score is. It was 1-1, I think, or maybe Boston's up 2-1 now. I don't even know.
I'll be honest with you. I'm watching the Goonies on mute. The Goonies. And before
Yeah.
that, you know what I was watching? Yeah, that's right. I was watching American Idol because Nick made me.
Yeah, Boston just scored, so it's 2-1 Boston.
I don't like the Bruins. I really don't.
Tampa had the first goal in this game, and then Boston came back. That's why I think the whole first goal thing is vastly overrated. I don't know. Yeah, anyway.
All right. Well, we got Matt Diggs on the phone. Matt Diggs loves hockey. You love hockey. I love hockey. Who doesn't love hockey? But, he likes to call in, and you guys can chat it up, and I'll sit in the back, and I'm going to watch Goonies. All right? So I'll bring Matt Diggs on. Matt Diggs.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Matt Diggs?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Did you want to
Good.
talk hockey?
We can talk hockey.
All right.
All right, I'm going to go watch Goonies.
All right. Well, Matt Diggs, what do you think of this Boston-Tampa Bay series?
Well, I'm hoping Tampa Bay can get it to 7 games because I really want to see Vancouver win, so I want to see Boston get tired or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, now, what about Guy Boucher? He went back to Rolison tonight for Game 6 after he pulled him in Game 5 for Mike Smith. How do you feel about all that?
Well, all you can say is if they lose, it was a mistake. If they win, it was a smart thing.
Yeah, this is a unique situation because I never like taking your number one goalie out unless it's the last resort. Like when you have a clear number one, I don't believe in taking him out at all. I mean, you can sit him in game, like for yank him out of a game and then put the backup in. But then you always start your number one guy the next game until you're down to your last straw and you need something. Then you can bring in the backup. But in this case with Rolison, considering how old he is, he's well into his 60s. I can understand maybe giving him a break, sitting him down, letting him rest because his play had fallen off there. So I'm willing to give Boucher the benefit of the doubt. He obviously knows his players much better than I do. But normally I would always say it's a bad idea. But I can understand it in this instance.
Well, I think you got to point out, that there's been a lot of instances of teams that have won the Cup using 2 goalies, and it is kind of a grind. There's a hell of a lot of pressure on a goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and every 2 nights that's kind of a lot of hockey. So maybe once in a while to take your number one out, and especially if it's not an essential game, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Well, especially for Rolison, like his age and just the fact that he hasn't been a number one in a long time, like playing 60 games a year or anything like that, And so I can understand him sitting this game out. And I'm distracted at the moment because my cat is about to beat up a little kitten that came out of the wall. Remember last week, Larry, I was talking about the kittens coming out of the wall? Well, another one fell out of the wall, so we got another kitten here. And it looked like my cat was about to beat him up, so I might have to break up a fight.
Your house is like a cat gumball machine.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But,
yeah.
Anyway, Yeah, I kind of hope the Bruins just end it tonight in Boston, Vancouver. That'd be a nice final.
Who do you want to see win the Cup, Mike?
Probably Boston, actually. I don't
like Boston.
Something about Vancouver just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like them Sedin boys. Something about them, I just think they're weasels. And Luongo, yeah. But the thing that really pisses me off is that only one team, Larry, only one team in the world should be able to wear a whale on their jersey, and it ain't the Canucks. You know? That's sacrilegious, putting a whale on their jersey. Absurd.
Well, you know, Mike, though, they like the Buck tradition up there in Vancouver. They're crazy up there. They're Canucks.
Hey, Matt Diggs, did you watch that game last night, the Game 5 there?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, now, for me, that was like a perfect example of why San Jose is San Jose. You know, they had the game wrapped up. All they had to do was close out the final 2 minutes there, and they just make mistake after mistake, and bang, it's in the net on a fluke play, a little tip in by Kessler. Puck just thrown to the net from the boards, hardly a good scoring chance. And then it goes to overtime.
But Mike, I knew that Vancouver was going to win that game, even as the seconds are ticking down.
And why is that?
Because Don Cherry said Vancouver was going to win 3-2.
Oh, see, I had no idea. I didn't know Don Cherry could do that. He
can do that. He's uncanny.
Yeah. See, I wasn't privy to the Don Cherry broadcast, so I had no idea.
You got to put up about a 60-foot antenna so you can pull in the CBC, you know.
But the two things that drove me nuts in that game, well, first of all, the overtime winner, we'll get to that in a minute. But if you recall, Matt Diggs, with about 1:20 to go in the game, our buddy Patrick Marleau gets the puck at center ice, and they'd already pulled their goalie, the Canucks. Luongo was on the bench. Empty net. He's one-on-one with the guy at center ice, sort of off on the right wing. And he was tired. It's an end of shift, I understand that. But he didn't even look up. He didn't even know that the net was empty, or if he did know it was empty, he didn't even care. And all he does is chip the puck down the boards into the zone. That game's over there. You know, if that puck goes to anyone else with a heartbeat, that game is over. Can you imagine Crosby or Yzerman or Sakic or any of these great players throughout the game? It's history. Getting the puck at center ice in a 2-1 game in the playoffs to ice it with an empty net and just dumping it in the corner? It's absurd. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, I feel sorry for those guys. I mean, because they're not as bad as they're being made out to be. Marleau, Thornton, they're actually pretty good players. It's really tough to win the Stanley Cup. You can't.
I understand
beat them
but
down
that's
too
just it.
much.
They're pretty good players. They're not great players. They're just pretty good, and they remind us of it every spring. But that's just an unforgivable play right there to do. That game should have been over, 3-1. San Jose, going back to San Jose for Game 6, or where? No, I don't even know. Do they have home ice? Yeah, no, Vancouver had home ice. Yeah, so going back to San Jose for Game 6. But yeah, so it's just ridiculous. And then Dan Boyle. Now people want to say that was a blown call on that icing, that it went off Sedin's shoulder. That's fine. Yeah, you're right. It probably did hit him, and the refs blew it. But Dan Boyle had all sorts of time behind the net there, and he hammered it around the boards. He was trying to get in icing. It was just a poor play on his part. He had more time, and he's the Stanley Cup champion. He should know better than that. I expect more out of Dan Boyle than that, you know?
Yeah, you know, it happened. I mean, what can you say? That would have been a very amazing call if they would have saw it, you know, because it barely touched Sedin.
Yeah, Mike Milbury's jumping on the ref saying it was a blown call. So, Milbury, calm down. Like, that wasn't, you know, Dan Boyle hammered that pucker on the glass. It wasn't anything but an icing. So, I don't know. And then in overtime, I don't even know who it was for the Canucks. They try to chip it down the boards. It hits a stanchion in the glass, kicks out to Bieksa, and he rifles a bullet, top shelf. Where, the three skipper.
He was the only guy on the ice who knew where the puck was, based on all the replays.
Something. It seemed like everyone thought it was up in the netting or something, but he goes right to Bieksa, and he uncorks a slapper there. I think it did skip like 2 or 3 times on the way to the net. No one knew where the puck was, but it got there, and they got the win. And all the confetti comes down, and everyone's piling off the benches. And yeah, it would have been something if they found out that, no, the puck really did go out and no goal. Do you think they would have had the guts to call it?
If it would have done what?
Like if the puck hit the meshing like they thought behind the net and kicked back out to them, do you think they would have, after the confetti and the handshakes and everything, do you think the refs would have said, whoa, hold on, we got to clear this up? You know?
Well, I think they probably realized it hit the stanchion after they, you know, sorted it all out. There's 4 guys out there, you know.
Yeah, none of them seemed real confident about what was going on, though. You know, it wasn't like when they showed the refs. It wasn't like one guy saying, "Here's what happened." They were all just like kind of looking at each other. You know, so,
I was thinking about that. You know, geez, they're going to spend 20 minutes to clean the ice and then continue the overtime if something happened weird. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Brett Hall goal with his foot in the crease there. No one was going to tell them, "Nope, sorry, skate was in the crease. Goal doesn't count." So, yeah. But I like that. I heard people today. They're actually talking about it on ESPN and stuff now. So that's nice. You see hockey on the part of the interruption and whatnot. And they were saying, but is that a cheap goal way to end a series? No, it's a great way to end a series. It's a great, memorable goal. That'll go down in history. You know, I loved it. That's the kind of stuff you want to see. Bizarre, weird things.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I agree. It's memorable. That's good hockey, really, because there's always an element of luck in a close hockey game. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. So, all right, so you got Canucks and the Bruins probably, or I don't want to sell the Lightning short. They're a resilient bunch. They might come back here. So you say you want Vancouver to win. Is that so?
Yeah, I always end up, when the Red Wings get knocked out, I always end up, if there's a Canadian team, I always end up rooting for the Canadian team. I always feel for them.
See, when the Red Wings get knocked out, I always end up dancing in the streets.
Yeah?
I love it.
You got any video you can post
no.
on this?
But I'm not much better than Heinz Ward. Hey, do you watch the Dancing with the Stars up there in Michigan, or do you get the Blades? What's the Canadian version of that? Blades, Stars on Blades, or?
Oh yeah, they got the hockey guys. Yeah, no, I never watched that.
Yeah, Larry, are you aware of that? They got like Dancing with the Stars up there, but it's old hockey players on skates.
Dancing with professional ice skaters, chicks.
Yeah.
Sounds gay.
Yeah.
I think Fleury did that. Your buddy.
Yeah, our buddy Theo Fleury was in it this past season, I think. Yeah.
It's like that movie Cutting Edge.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, he's a hockey player and she's an ice dancer or whatever. And
was that D.B. Sweeney, Cutting Edge?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see the movie, and I'm definitely not going to sit through it every week.
Yeah. So what else is going on, Matt Diggs? What else is
all right, now leave me alone.
All right, I'm sorry. Watch games.
Yeah.
What else is going on? I got the sound turned off, but I'm watching Tampa Bay Boston here. I think that first goal might have hit Hedman's stick, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. I wasn't even paying attention.
I got to tell you though, Don Cherry, I was talking about that a little while ago. He picks games. I mean, he just does. He just knows who's going to win.
Well, after you've seen about 1 million hockey games, you can kind of see a pattern, you know, like.
Well, I mean, he said the final score though.
Yeah. You know.
He said this is what it's going to say in the newspaper tomorrow: 3-2 Vancouver.
Yeah. He got kind of lucky, right? I mean, it could have gone the other way, but.
I don't know. He does it. He's been doing it for 30 years. You know, overtime games. Point. He says he's going to score the overtime goal. You know, out of all the 20, 40 guys out there on the ice, he says which one's going to score the overtime winner.
Yeah, I don't mean to diminish his. I'm trying to pay a compliment to him that he's seen this much hockey. Like he knows what he's talking about. You know, like I don't mean to diminish what he's saying. That guy knows what he's saying. You know, once you've seen as much hockey as he has in his lifetime, because consider how much hockey he's seen from playing and then coaching and then broadcasting.
He's been doing hockey his entire life since he was old enough to walk.
So we're talking, 100,000 games, more than that probably, and
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so he knows what he's talking about. And
he was on the radio in Boston, like last week, and he said the Seguin, Tyler, what's his name, Seguin? Seguin?
Yeah, Seguin, right? Is that how they say it?
Yeah, he said he's going to go out and score a big goal tomorrow night, and he does. He's psychic. I'm telling you.
Yeah. How else could he pick out those sports codes? He knows what he's doing. He has the extra perception.
Yeah, he knows what's in style years before it goes out of style.
I kind of just want the season to be over with. I've had enough of it already.
I think the finals will be pretty good. If it's whoever it is, Boston or Tampa Bay, I think it'll be pretty good against Vancouver. I think you got to look at it this way, Mike. If Vancouver wins. If you see Tampa Bay win, it's that's okay. Boston would go nuts because they haven't won the cup in 40 years. I'll give them a benefit of a doubt. But if a Canadian city wins the cup after all these years, you'll see like the entire province of British Columbia will get drunk for 3 days. That would be something, wouldn't
it? Larry, you don't want the Canucks to win?
No, I could really care less.
Oh, all right. You're just playing wacky sound effects?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it would be nice, I guess, to see a Canadian team win finally.
No, especially Vancouver. They haven't won the Cup since, like, World War I. You know, so, you know, they would go so crazy. They, you know, the whole place it'd be great to see a North American city get shut down for 3 days.
Yeah, the Canucks have never won the Cup, but Vancouver, did they win it back in the old days, the Millionaires?
The Vancouver Millionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when it was, you know, the old amateur tournament.
And the last time the Canucks were in the finals was '94, when they lost to the Rangers, Game 7 against the Rangers, Pavel Bure and the fellas. And then the Bruins, last time they were in the finals, was against the Edmonton Oilers and Peter Klima, if you remember that, the old Peter Klima goal. So I'd like to see Boston win it. I don't know. Well, like I said, I just hate the fact that a team wears a whale on their sweater and they think they're cool. Screw them.
But see, the Hartford Whalers wore a whale because they were hunting whales.
No,
that's whalers. It wasn't the whale.
That's a misconception. They're celebrating the great mighty beast the whale is. But I was going to say something else. Oh, well, Conn Smythe, Ryan Kessler, pretty much has it wrapped up if the Canucks win. That guy's doing everything for them, you know. And that's why the Sedins, God bless them, they're fine fellas. They're great hockey players, but in my eyes, they're nothing more than glorified second-liners. Ryan Kessler,
glorified second-liners, please, come on.
They're not the number one. Henrik Sedin's not the number one center on that team. Ryan Kessler is. He's the guy running that ship.
Oh, he is the playoffs now, yeah, but
he scored 40 goals in the regular season. I think that counts for something too. He's the guy running that ship. Oh, Tampa Bay just scored it. You know, the Sedins are perfectly slotted as second-line guys behind Kessler. If they had to carry a team on their own, they couldn't. They wouldn't be able to do it. You know, but Marty St. Louis, another goal. What is that? 9 or 10?
Yes, he's I think 8 or 9.
Yeah, he's a good kid, that Marty St. Louis. How many sound effects does Larry have? I don't know. But yeah, so if Boston wins, who's going to be the Conn Smythe? Timmy Thomas, I would imagine, right? He's the front runner.
Could be Thomas. Yeah, I gotta tell you. I mean, I told you a couple of weeks ago, but Ryan Kessler, you know, he's from my hometown, and that's just, to me, that's just totally awesome.
Well, what's
you know, I'm an old geezer, right? So when I started following hockey, it was in the late '60s, and like all the guys at school were into it, you know, and so I, you know, got skates, learned how to skate and stuff, and I never played league hockey, but you know, we always used to go around and find whatever ice hockey we could find, you know, whatever it was, creeks, ponds, backyard rinks, whatever it was. But you know, when I started to follow the NHL, it was like, you know, wow, this is great. I love hockey. This is cool, you know. And then you find out, like, every single guy in the league is Canadian. There's not, like, one American in the entire fucking league. You know, and, you know, you start to think, Jesus Christ, is there ever going to be any good American hockey players? And so it's, for me, it's great to see, you know, guys from my hometown rise up to the highest level.
Now, Matt Diggs, are you a right-handed fella?
Oh, yeah.
And when you played hockey, when you learned to play hockey, did you shoot right-handed?
Yeah, because Americans always play baseball first, and then when they pick up a hockey stick, you know, you hold it like a bat. And
yeah, because usually Canadians, they start out, people always wonder, well, how come there's so many left-handed shots? Because Canadians, they start out so young, they're like kids, like 1, 2 years old, and when they reach for the stick, they reach for it with their dominant hand. So they're strong hands on top, and then they're weaker hands on the bottom. Where I started playing hockey late in life, so I put my dominant hand down low and my left hand on top, you know. The way it goes. But
I think the hockey stick manufacturers always said, you know, in Canada they make mostly left-handed sticks. When they ship sticks to the United States, it's like 90% right-handed.
Yeah, because it's just it just has to do with how old you are when you learn to play. And in Canada, they learn at a young age. Hey, Larry, keep the crickets to yourself. I have a good point here. But if Tampa Bay would somehow go on to win the Stanley Cup, I think Marty St. Louis, he'd be your guy for Conn Smythe. So it's probably a 3-horse race there. But what about Kessler? What about his leg? Is his leg all right? Have you heard anything about that?
No, it was just good to see him come back. We'll see what happens. You know, he's got 4 days off or something. So
yeah, that was quite the performance. He injures his leg, he fights through it, comes back, scores the tying goal. He's a bad man, that Ryan Kessler. All right, Matt Diggs, any other topics you'd like to discuss?
Oh, nothing I can think of. Geez, what do I want to ask you?
Your buddy Brian Rafalski's retiring. How do you
he is. That's it's disappointing, but you got to retire someday. And he got banged up. He was really getting like they'd always run him, on the backboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't always clean.
Yeah. But the point is, you got to punish him. Take his legs away because he's a great skater, and you got to run him.
Well, they took his legs away. Yeah, he's going to friggin' retire because his knee's blown.
Played without an ACL, right?
Yeah, the guy that ran him was that chump down there in Tampa. What's his name?
Downey?
Yeah. And when they played at Tampa, Downey did a dive check on him. I mean, it was like way late, and dove into him. But I mean, I don't know.
That hurts. Now, what if Lidstrom retires? You lose Rafalski and Lidstrom, you're screwed.
I don't think Lidstrom's going to retire. He's really savvy in the contract negotiations. He knows how to squeeze the last dollar out of the Red Wings.
Well, now the good news for you is Rafalski leaving is going to free up about $6 million in cap, right? He was making a lot of money. But the bad news is he's one of those defenders that you may not appreciate fully until he's gone because he just covers so much ice and he's so good with the puck.
He was an excellent hockey player the whole time.
Yeah, he's not a guy that grabs the headlines, but he's just so good and steady and perfect for that team, the puck control kind of team like the Red Wings.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything you're saying is spot on. He was. I thought he was always an excellent player.
Yeah. Now, I saw someone wrote an article saying Rafalski should be in the Hall of Fame. That's ridiculous. I mean, come on. He's not a Hall of Famer, right? But he's a very good player.
If he would have played enough years, but he didn't.
Well, see, that's the argument is I'm not a big fan of the longevity. Either you're a Hall of Famer or you're not. I think to be a Hall of Famer, in my mind, you need to be among the best players at your position year after year after year. And Rafalski, as great as he was never in the top 5 defensemen in the league or anything,
I think on his best years, he might have been right around like 5th or 4th or something.
No, that's absurd. No. He was never even a number 1 defenseman on any team he played for. He was a number 3 in New Jersey a lot of the time.
Well, gee whiz, he played with,
exactly
Scott,
right.
Steven,
he played with
Lidstrom.
Hall of Famers. That's exactly right. So that's why he wasn't one of the. That's the point that proves the case perfectly. Yeah. But still.
Well, what did he do in the Olympics last year, Mike? I mean, all those great defensemen in that tournament, and who's the number 1 defenseman at the end of the tournament?
Yeah, well, come on, please.
Well, what?
Really?
The guy, he delivered the goods. If he'd had a longer career, he had like 550 points. If he'd had 1,000 points, you could consider him for the Hall. At 550, no, he won't get in.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. But and then our buddy Joe Pelche asked about Doug Waite. I think Doug Waite in the Hall. Again, a very good player, but he's not a Hall of Famer. Just he was never one of the best centers in the league in any year. He was always right up there, but he wasn't the cream of the crop. So.
Should Larry Murphy be in? Was he ever?
See, that's a good point. That's a good point, Larry Murphy. Now, the thing that puts Larry Murphy over the top is his statistics. I don't think people appreciate just how many goals he scored. And he had like 3 or 4 20-goal seasons. He won 4 Stanley Cups. Won 2 cups with the Pens and the Red Wings. So I think
1,500 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played. He just played tons, and he was always good. If he played 2 Brian Rafalski careers, is what he did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe if Rafalski played as long as Murphy and put up those numbers, all right. But Rafalski, he never had a 20-goal season. What's his career high in goals? Like 12, something?
Well, I don't know, but I mean that's no way to rate a defenseman.
Well, I know, but if you're an offensive defenseman, and I think you would have to say he was more of an offensive defenseman. But he was a steady guy.
Even last year, he was 48 points in 63 games.
Yeah, look, he's a hell of a player, but just not a Hall of Famer. But, that's just me. But anyway, all right, Matt Diggs. I think we've talked enough hockey, so I think we need to move on. But
yeah, okay, move on. Have a good show, guys. I'll catch you later.
All right, appreciate the phone call, Matt Diggs. Thanks, buddy.
Good night.
There he goes, Matt Diggs. And Larry, he saved you from talking hockey.
Hello?
Larry?
Hello, is this on?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, well, I was busy over here, busy.
Yeah, at least you didn't have to talk hockey, though. Matt Diggs filled in for you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Matt Diggs, for filling in.
So now we'll turn it over to Larry. What do you want to talk about, Larry? Goonies?
Yeah, see, that's what I've been doing. I was watching Goonies. It's on the ABC Family Channel there. And then during commercials, I'm going through my Netflix.
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah, so I'm just, trying to find movies to rent, and I almost started watching Clockwork Orange. I figured, I could watch this on the computer while we're doing the show, but I didn't.
That's that's a movie you've seen a dozen times at least, right?
Oh yeah, I love it.
So you want to talk movies, Larry? Because I saw a movie. It's new to me. It's not new out in the theaters, but Get 'Em to the Greek with Russell Brand and Jonah Hill and Peggy from Mad Men. I like the Peggy. Yeah.
Peggy, and Puff Daddy or the P.
P. Diddy. I remember you talked about it on the show before when you saw it, and you said that P. Diddy was very funny in it. And I got to tell you, you're right. He was very funny in it.
He was, and you're like, oh, you love the Illuminati puppet.
Yeah.
You love the Illuminati puppet. But yeah, he's hilarious in that movie.
Yeah, he was. He was pretty funny.
Yeah. And like,
now,
Jonah Hill, like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does he remind you of a Seth Rogen?
A more likable Seth Rogen, I'd say.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel about him. Like they're so closely related, but yet. I don't mind Jonah Hill as much as I dislike Seth Rogen.
Well, Larry, you're really good at the movie summaries. You're aces at them. So why don't you tell the people what Get 'Em to the Greek's about real quick?
Okay, Get 'Em to the Greek. What it is P. Diddy. He's like this record. He owns like a record label, and Jonah Hill plays like this. I don't know what the hell you even want to call him. An agent, a talent scout, whatever, and. The label's hurting right now, and they're looking for talent. And Jonah Hill's a big fan of this Russell Brand guy. I forget what his name is, Aloysius or Aldous something.
Aldous Snow.
Aldous Snow, that's it. So he's a big fan of this guy, and this guy was like huge 20 years ago, and it's coming up to be the anniversary of some monster, like significant concert he did 20 years ago, and so Jonah Hill suggested they relaunch this guy's career on the 20th anniversary and play him at the Greek Theater. That's where the title Get 'Em to the Greek comes from.
The Greek Theater.
Right.
My pals, the White Stripes, played there a couple times.
Yeah. So to sum it up, Jonah Hill's kind of a straight-laced guy, that sort of thing, and Russell Brand's like the out-of-control rock star, drugs, banging all kinds of broads, and you know what's going to happen at that point, and it's just them, in misadventures throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I got to tell you, Larry, I don't usually have high hopes for such movies.
Mm-hmm.
And modern comedies tend to be terrible.
Yes.
And when you see Jonah Hill in something, right away I'm thinking, probably not so good. I actually like Russell Brand, though. I don't know. I find that guy endearing.
Well,
I think he's funny.
I liked him in this movie, but when I see him hosting like the MTV Movie Awards and that sort of thing, I can't stand him. I don't find him funny, like as a live performer, stand-up comedian.
I dig him. I think he's a smart fella. I think he's clever and whatnot. But in this film, I enjoyed him, and Peggy was really good in this film. I got to tell you, I like this movie. I was pleasantly surprised. I'd give it an 8.
Wow, yeah, that's a good solid rating.
Yeah, you can't get wrong with an 8. Yeah.
No. Yeah, which is, as soon as you tell me Jonah Hill, Puff Daddy, I'm like, no. But, I remember Bernie, our buddy Byrne, he went to see this at the theater, and I was like, oh, how was that? He's like, it's great. You got to go see it. I'm telling you got to go see this movie. And I'm like, come on, dude. It looks stupid. It looks lame. It's just, super bad, part 2. But he was right, man. It is enjoyable. I do like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, why usually, Larry, I start every movie with a 10. And then as they, commit some grievous error, I deduct points. And I'm trying to think why I gave this an 8. Like, what did it lose points for? And I don't know. It's pretty solid. I don't know if there's too much wrong with it, really. But at the same time, when I think of it, I don't think of it as a 9 movie or a 10, but it's a solid.
I agree. I know what you're saying.
I think I could have used one more wacky misadventure, I think, like along the way, to turn Jonah. Maybe just one more little scene in there. But it's got some great memorable scenes. I like the awkward 3-way they try to have is very funny.
Yeah, that was good.
What else? Tampa Bay just scored to tie it up. So, or no, they're in the lead now, 3-2. Okay, you Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the scene where Jonah Hill gets really high on that Jeffrey. Like they have that drug they call Jeffrey. Yeah.
The Jeffrey,
Just keep petting that furry wall and stuff. Yeah, that's a good
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
There's
the scene where they're on the way to Good Morning America or whatever, and he's just drinking all the booze and smoking all the weed so that what's his face doesn't get all liquored up, and then he's a mess at the concert.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was just it was a good show. Doesn't he barf? Didn't he barf all over himself or something at that scene?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, yeah, it's good. I enjoy it. I'm surprised you enjoyed it, but I liked it.
As far as recent comedies go, I still the one that I was most surprised about that I enjoyed was The Hangover. I was shocked that I enjoyed it. I thought that was very good. Now, is Hangover 2 out yet? I don't know.
Friday.
Friday? All right.
Yeah.
The
reviews are out, and they are bad.
Oh, really? Ugh.
Yeah. It was like a 31 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What did the first one get on Rotten Tomatoes? Any idea?
No, I don't know. Do you want me to look it up?
No, I don't.
You want to guess? Yeah, take a guess.
I would say it would get a 71.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, it doesn't matter. I saw it. You got a 79. 79.
Ooh.
Part 2 is at 34 now. He went up a couple points since earlier today.
Yeah. I'm trying to think I thought there was another comedy I saw recently that I enjoyed. Well, Scott Pilgrim's not really a zany comedy like that, but it's great.
It's not a zany comedy, but it is a comedy. It's funny. It's lighthearted.
How many more times have you watched Scott Pilgrim since last week's show?
I'd say probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, you might have a problem.
It's just, here's the thing, Mike, though. Lately, I've just been sitting around playing, since I can't play poker anymore, I play on Pogo. So I've just been playing
wait a minute. Why can't you play poker anymore? Is that because of the feds?
Yeah.
Tell me this.
They shut down all the poker sites.
They shut down all the online poker, right?
Yeah.
That is
in the U.S. Yeah, it's Jive Turkey. Yeah.
Big brother,
Yeah. I hear you. So since I can't play poker anymore, I've been playing gin. I play computer player and just play gin. So, while I'm just sitting here, Scott Pilgrim's something I can just put on, and I don't have to, pay that close attention to.
Now, let me ask you this about the online poker. If you had an account, don't you have, money in that account or something?
Yeah.
So when the feds came in and they shut down, what happened to all that money?
They're refunding it. Some sites like PokerStars have already sent their money back. The site I belong to, Full Tilt, they say, yeah, you're going to get your money back, but just not right now. We're going to get it. We promise. It's safe. It's not going anywhere. We'll get it to you, but not now. Not right now. Yeah. Because Byrne has a good chunk in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, our buddy Bernie. He's a real professional poker player guy.
Well, I don't know if he's... Yeah, I guess. But he's up over, a G in there.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think I got $85 or $88 or something like that. That's it. So if I would have lost that, I don't really care.
But, all right, Larry, any TV we should talk about?
TV.
No, notice the planning that went into the show, by the way. I hope the listeners...
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I saw that the... what's that? That Bachelor lady started last night. Did you watch?
Yeah, the Bachelorette, yeah. See, now I don't like the Bachelorette as much because it's one lady. At least the Bachelor, you got 25 ladies. So that's, you can look at that. But we watched the Bachelorette.
There's 25 people.
Usually, I think so. Yeah.
How many weeks does this show run? Half a year?
Well, I think maybe when it's the first night, there's 25. I think. Don't quote me on this. And then she hands out, I think, 15 roses. So she gets rid of 10 guys right off the top.
Oh, I see. All right.
And then I think some weeks she'll lose 2 people or so. I don't know.
All right.
But
it's not one by one, though, for 25 weeks. That'd be ridiculous.
No.
Okay.
But so this lady here, she was one of the contestants on The Last Bachelor. And she went out, I think, 3rd. Or she was 3rd from the top, I should say. She was runner-up to the runner-up.
She finished 3rd.
Yeah. That's an even more succinct way of saying it. Yeah,
she finished 3rd. Yeah.
So she was all right. She's a cute lady, and she's one of those lively, positive girls.
Really
upbeat.
Yeah, like the exact opposite of me.
Yeah. She, in fact, I still remember back in the Bachelor days, like when they were introducing her on the show, and they cut to her, and she goes, "And I love to dance," and she's wearing like knee-high, like white socks, you know, and she's dancing and stuff, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. It's one of these.
And
yeah.
She any good though? How's the grill?
How's the grill? What does that even mean?
Yeah, how's the grill?
Her teeth? What does that mean?
Well, her face. How's the helmet?
Yeah, she's an attractive lady, yeah. And she's a dental hygienist, so her teeth are exceptional.
I like exceptional teeth on a lady.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, we were watching The Bachelorette, and so she brings in these 25 clowns, you know. And you get 25 dudes in a room trying to bang one lady, and you know, things happen. Like, this one guy just got really drunk.
Mm-hmm. I saw that guy on the commercial.
Yeah, he drank so much he passed out.
Nice. Did they draw on him with like a Sharpie?
No, but they had to help him up and like carry him outside and stuff. Now, another guy showed up wearing a mask.
A mask? Like what, Darth Vader?
No, like just around his eyes, kind of like the Lone Ranger.
Like Zorro?
Yeah, kind of. And he said because she didn't want him to judge him on his physical beauty. And I got to tell you, just from the area exposed, you know, above and below the mask, no problems there. You know, I don't think he's a handsome fella. You can kind of tell. But he doesn't take the mask off at all. It's not like just meeting her. He wore it the whole time. And he apparently intends to wear it as long as he's on the show, every minute that he's on the show. Even like when the cameras aren't running. He's going to wear the mask.
Huh.
Now, if he's doing that because he's a superhero, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's real weird. And it's just a guy who wants to go down in TV, you know, folklore history or whatever, you know. But remember the guy?
Here's the other perplexing thing about him, though. You think a guy wearing a mask to get attention to himself would be some outgoing, zany guy, right? Like a prop comic or something. No, he's very reserved and shy.
Huh. Is he Mexican?
No, he's not a wrestler. No. So, but here's the thing, Larry. He got a rose.
Okay.
Like the guys who get the roses get to stay.
Did he put it in between his teeth?
No. But he got a rose, and he was kind of high up. Like I think he was about the second or third guy to get a rose or something. It was shocking.
You know what I picture right now?
All
I can picture. No, like all I can picture this guy is. You remember on Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Don Flamenco?
Yeah.
I just picture that guy in a mask. This is who you're describing to me right now. I don't know why.
Well, he doesn't really look like Don Flamenco. But I guess of all the Punch Out characters, that he would be the closest guy. But yeah. Yeah, I thought you were picturing me at home with my Bachelorette scorecard, and I'm keeping score.
No, but did you have your Bachelor Snuggie on?
No.
You know, it is May. It's warming up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think those were all the big news out of The Bachelorette. And then, of course, we did watch Dancing with the Stars, the wife and I. And,
yeah, I watched a little bit of it last night. Yeah.
It's embarrassing. You knew he was going to win because it's like a viewer vote or something. You know, Steeler Nation. They're not scared to vote for dancers. They love the dancers.
Yeah. Way from the beginning, I told Nick, I said, listen, Kirstie Alley is going to win this show.
Really? You called it?
Matter. Yeah, I said it doesn't matter what happens from here on out. Kirstie Alley's going to win the show. Dude, you know it's so rigged because here's the thing. You know they're just going to try to relaunch her career now that she's thin and she did the dance and they kept her on as long as they could. And had she not sucked real bad on Monday night, you know, if she was close, if she had gotten all the same scores, like if she, you know, because I know they finished up with like a 54 or something on that final night, and Hines Ward and that other broad, they both had 59s. Had she been closer in the score, I don't care anything about the phone votes and all that. They would have given it to her. There's just no doubt about that. It was conspiracy, Michael?
No, I don't think. But I don't know, because Kirstie Alley shouldn't have finished. Look at me, I'm breaking down Dancing with the Stars. I'm very proud.
Yeah.
But she shouldn't have finished second. That little blonde-haired girl on there, she should have finished second. But I guess not enough people know who she is. No one. She's from a Disney show. But I mean, Kirstie Alley.
Does know who that is?
Who?
Nick.
Oh.
Do you know who voted for her 14 times Monday night?
Oh my goodness.
Nick.
No.
Yeah.
No. Now, don't they charge you money for that?
I don't think so.
I thought it was like $1 a pop.
No, I don't think.
All right, I hope not. Yeah.
Yeah, better not be.
So she was voting for that Chelsea girl instead of Hines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like that girl all along. That girl's kind of hot, though, huh?
Yeah. Good-looking girl. And, so, yeah, Kirstie Alley, you know. I thought she was going to be out first week. All right, enough about Dancing with the Stars. I feel ridiculous enough.
All right.
Yeah, so I've been watching Bachelorette and Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, manning up over there.
I'm very proud. Then we got kittens falling out of walls over here. It's great.
Yeah, it's all man all the time over your place.
You got that straight.
Yeah, nothing about it.
So, all right, Larry. Well, let's get into the kind of the wrestling aspect of the show to man it up a little bit. You know, like I said, in the second hour we're going to have we actually planned stuff for the second hour. This first hour we planned nothing, but the second hour it'll be a great show in the second hour. So just hang with us. It'll be great. But for right now, we're going to start the Randy Savage tribute a little early because I happen to have the phone number of a very famous, prominent wrestler. Someone who has competed against Randy Savage.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
Well, I just gave you the phone number. I didn't want to tell you who it was.
I know, but I didn't know what this phone number was.
Yeah. So why don't you dial the phone number now? I won't say who it is. We'll see. We'll just bring him on, and we'll talk to him about his experiences with Randy Macho Man Savage. I hope he's home.
Probably not, with our luck.
He is a big-time wrestler. Huh.
You
Maybe
have
he's doing the
reached the Sprint voicemail box of 7.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, you got to hang that up. Huh.
Maybe he's doing the Rob Van Dam show.
Yeah, I don't like getting the hi-hat from a guy.
Well, it's not like we're not used to it.
Oh, that hurts. Yeah. All right. I don't want to... Should I tell you who it was?
No. I want to know. We'll call back in a couple minutes. Maybe they were in the crapper or something.
All right.
Taking a dump. But, Mike Dell.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to wait for Lance before we start talking Macho Man, or...
What do you want to say about Macho Man?
I was never a big fan.
Oh, really?
No.
See, I was a big fan. I enjoyed him.
I never liked the Macho Man. Like, I'm not speaking ill of him, that sort of thing. But as far as wrestling goes, I was never drawn to that character, never got into him. Always rooted against whoever he fought.
The older I get, looking back, the more I like the Macho Man. Because he was just the epitome of what a professional wrestler should be. He's just great. He was good inside the ring, but he was spectacular on the mic, But he really was tremendous in the ring, too, one of the top performers. He could do it all, And he had some legendary matches. But just his interviews with Mean Gene Okerlund are, brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's really not acting.
I was going to say, I think it's a good idea if we wait like 10 seconds and then call back your special guest.
All right.
I got a good vibe that maybe they're going to answer the phone this time.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know why. I just do. All right, here we
All
go.
right.
I'm gonna call a special guest.
Oh, you're like Don Cherry predicting hockey games. You can predict when wrestlers are going to pick up the phone.
Hello, this is the Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior! What's up, buddy?
Oh, the Ultimate Warrior.
Fans.
How did you ever...
Hello, fans of Ultimate Warrior, all the little warriors. I see you when I dangle the ropes.
Warrior, how's it going, buddy? It's been years.
Oh, yes, I've been okay. I was getting some ice cream. It was my favorite topping ever.
Now, what do you like to put on your ice cream, Ultimate Warrior?
Bacon bits.
Yeah, he likes bacon bits on his ice cream. Seems
It's
great.
a bad day in America because the Macho Man Randy Savage have died. He's gone away. He's passed away.
Yeah, so you were sad when you
retire.
heard the news. You were sad? You were broken up over it?
Yes, because I was scheduled to whip his ass one more time.
Wow, I did not know that. I didn't even know you were still wrestling.
I thought you retired the Ultimate Warrior.
I wrestle with demons deep inside of my head.
Well, I can imagine that.
No. Sometimes I sit in my bed.
Yeah, that's not surprising either. Yeah. But Larry, I think you had a point you wanted to make to the Warrior.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior.
Son.
I thought you retired.
Well, sometimes when you retire, you tire of being and then you say, why do I do the things that I do in America? Because if I don't do them, who could?
Well, that sounds familiar, actually.
Because here's what I was thinking, because I remember, like, your last match or whatever, you know, after the last match, you promised the fans that you weren't going to be on the Facebook and the Twitter anymore and hang out on the Internet and call shows, but then there you are. If you don't go away, the fans can't miss you, Warrior.
I am not on Facebook or nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm invisible to the human eye.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe it, then I'm a super cool guy.
Yeah. Now, Warrior, the Macho Man cost you the title once. I don't know if you remember this, but he conked you on the head with his royal scepter when he was the Macho King. When he was remember that bit he was doing, and it led to you being pinned by Sergeant Slaughter, and Sergeant Slaughter won the championship. Now,
Sergeant Slaughter went to Iraq and he got with that stupid Iron Sheik, and then they terrorized America. Like it's never been terrorized before. I bought a new El Camino.
Well, congratulations. No, but you weren't upset though that Savage hit you over the head and cost you the title? Like, were you guys still able to be pals after that?
Listen, what I'm saying is that when you do things that people don't like, you can't ever cry about it. It's very windy in the land of the warriors.
You gotta quit shaking those ropes so hard. You know, it's the breeze from the rope.
Is your face painted right now, the Warrior?
Yes, and so is my behind.
Oh, nice.
Now, do you still have those little things tied around your arms and legs and stuff, those little tassels?
Well, yes and no.
Oh, yes and no?
Only when you're shooting up now?
I had a blood clot in my leg.
Oh, you had a blood clot in your leg. Wow. Take care
We
of
had a friend that had a blood clot in his leg, but he retired.
Yeah. And he was a much older fella. And he was in terrible shape.
I've never met an in-shape person.
Oh, really? All right. Huh. Now, what's your fondest memory of the Macho Man, Warrior?
He was a person who did things that people could do. And then he said, what must it be if people can't get nothing for free?
I don't ever remember him saying that.
Super deluxe windy out here. Oh, I'm fading away.
All right,
call
Warrior.
back later.
Well, thanks, Warrior. I appreciate you making the time for us to remember Macho Man Randy Savage. Thanks, buddy.
Stay retired.
I guess there he goes, the Ultimate Warrior. So all you little warriors out there, remember to put bacon bits on your ice cream.
You know, that's not like a popular thing anymore, Mike Dell, this bacon ice cream. That's not even a joke.
I'd never heard of such a thing.
Like, I know, King's restaurants around this Pittsburgh area. I don't know if they're a national thing or whatever, but last month they were having some sort of big bacon extravaganza. You know, like they had triple bacon cheeseburger and bacon, lettuce, tomato, blah, blah, blah. But they also had bacon maple ice cream sundae or something like that. So, like, and I've heard Craig Dodge talk about, like, he's had actual bacon ice cream and it's fantastic. So I don't understand. Like, even on these fancy chef shows, like the Top Chefs and all that, sometimes they'll make a bacon ice cream. I've seen them do it.
Because I know when I first talked to the Warrior probably about 2-3 years ago, and he told me that he liked bacon bits on his ice cream, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
I never heard of such a thing. Because for the people who don't know King's, how would you describe King's, Larry? It's kind of like a bigger Denny's? I don't know. Right?
Yeah, it's basically just your, hamburgers, fried chickens, meatloaf specials. It's like a Denny's, like a...
And the menu's on the placemat, right? Do they still have the menu on the placemat in the King's?
I don't know. I don't really go there too much.
Yeah, I haven't been there in many years.
I don't think so. I think they give you actual menus now.
Oh, well, that's good. But the King's was always known for their apple pie and cinnamon ice cream. That was like their big thing.
Cinnamon ice cream from King's rules. Yeah. It's so good. So anybody, if you don't know of King's, if you don't have King's, I'm sure you can go online. Just order like a tub of that cinnamon ice cream. I don't know how they would get it to you, but it's worth it.
Yeah, because Greensburg, we're a small little town here, but we've got how many King's restaurants, Larry? We've got at least 2, I think.
Yeah.
But I remember my grandfather used to enjoy King's way back in the day, and he loved he'd get the apple pie and the cinnamon ice cream.
Yeah. That is good. And the what do they call their Big Mac type burger there? The Special K or something? The Special K burger?
I'm sure they get sued, right? They can't do that.
I don't know. It was called something like that, but that's what I always used to get. Yeah. We used to go there a lot of nights after drinking and stuff because they're open 24 hours.
I think the last time I was at a King's restaurant, and I think we actually have 3 around here if you count the one out on 66, because it was after the Happy Birthday Baby Jesus, Larry. Remember the one we did live radio broadcast from when it was raining?
Yeah, that debacle thing, yeah.
Yeah. It was after that. Me and your buddy Michigan Frank Hansel, we stopped at King's on the way home, and we got stuff to eat, I think, if I remember.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I hate Michigan Frank.
Yeah.
I
saw you guys were going back and forth on the Facebook because he loves Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, he does love Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, I'll have to. I haven't seen that yet. Our buddy Adam Rank recommended it, so I'll have to watch it before the next time Rank comes on, and so we can break it down.
Yeah, how you were surprised by Get Him to the Greek. You're not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen with the Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm telling you, Mike. You're not gonna like it.
All right. Oh, but you know who's in it though, Larry? Is Lizzie Kaplan, that girl from Party Down. That I. Yeah, so that's a perk, right?
There's somebody else hot in that movie, if I remember, and she gets.
Well, wasn't one of the Mad Men ladies in it as well?
Yeah, is that who it is?
Yeah, I can't remember which one. If it was the doctor or the one he married, I can't remember.
Oh yeah, the doctor. Yeah, the doctor lady. Yeah, she's hot. I'd like to be a patient.
Yeah, it just dawned on me today that usually this time of year we're gearing up for Mad Men. Like Mad Men comes in the summer, like August, the end of July.
Yeah, July. Usually
not anymore. Not till we still got another year to wait.
Mad Men, drinking, smoking.
If the wait's going to be that long, you might as well just not even do the show, right?
No, why? Why wouldn't you?
But they're going to have to jump a couple years. They can't just pick up because everyone's going to look much older. 2 years off. You're going to have to really jump ahead in time in the story.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. So, it's not like they don't have talented writers over there. They seem to do all right, so they'll figure it out. Don't worry, Mike. Now, don't stress. Don't fret.
I say Betty Draper may not even be around anymore. You think January Jones is done?
I hate her. I just read a story about her. Apparently, Zach Galifianakis. I read this on TMZ just about an hour before showtime. But apparently, he said that they were at some kind of party, premiere, whatever, and she was there. And I guess they had never met each other, so she was sitting at some table, and she called him over, and she's like, "Hey, come on over, sit down with me," So he said they talked for 10 minutes or so, and then after 10 minutes, she just says to him, "All right, I think it's time that you get up and leave now." She said that to him, and he goes, and he's like, "Really? Really? You're just an actress on a TV show. A couple years from now, nobody's even going to know who the fuck you are." And then he left. And then somebody asked her, I guess the other day, who the funniest guy in Hollywood is, and She said him, and he's like, I hope she didn't think I was joking. Yeah, so that was a good story. Yeah. So, the old Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
All right, well, Lance is here, so you ready to talk
All right, bring on Lance.
wrestling?
Yeah, this is our buddy Lance Miller. That's capital M, little bitty I, little bitty L.
Yeah.
The L.
Yeah.
Little bitty E.
No relation to the Ed Miller or the Ultimate Warrior.
And Lance used to play goaltender at the Happy Birthday Baby Jesus. He'd always be the goalie. So
yeah.
And he's been on the show before. Lance, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? It's been years.
Yep. Yeah, I'm missing a Storage War marathon for this, so I hope you guys appreciate it.
They're all repeats.
Yeah, I know they are.
Yeah,
we love Storage Wars like that.
I've still never seen that show.
We love it.
Oh, it's awesome. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
Jim Hellwig. Jim Hellwig's. He hasn't aged very well. It doesn't sound
the
like.
Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig.
Yeah.
See, that's how big of a fan Lance is of the wrestling. He knows the real names.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with here.
Lance, sometimes.
Well, yeah, Lance is the wrestling aficionado. He's like a walking wrestling encyclopedia, right, Lance? Is that how you describe yourself?
Sure, yeah. That's the way you describe me, at least. But,
yeah. Now, you still watch the wrestling...
I probably forgot more about wrestling than most people know. But
yeah, you're really into it. And do you still watch it these days?
Occasionally. Like, I still follow the Raw a little bit, but, like, not the TNA or SmackDown or anything like that, not really.
Yeah, because I tried to watch the Raw the other night, and I don't know, I couldn't get into it. But I did watch the Tough Enough, and I like the Tough Enough a lot.
Yeah, I love Tough Enough.
Yeah, from what I've seen of it, I haven't caught all the episodes either, but it's been pretty good. Stone Cold's awesome. I mean, he makes the show,
you just put Stone Cold
obviously.
on any show and just let him be Stone Cold, and I'll watch it. You know?
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
Well, yeah, the only thing I said is, at the end, instead of taking their belt, he should just stun them. And then,
that would be great, yeah. Oh, I'd love it. Yeah, because we did, Larry and I were thinking, did we do top 11 wrestlers before? We did top 11 wrestling finishing moves and top 11 tag teams. Lance, I think you were on for top 11 tag teams with us. And,
I did. Yeah, I called in for that, but yeah, that's, I don't think we did wrestlers.
No, we didn't. But the stunner would be, I can't remember where I had it on my list. It was probably number 2 or 3 on my list of favorite finishers. I could just watch Stone Cold stun people all day long. Love it.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no corporate elbow.
Oh, yeah, I think the corporate elbow is my number 1 favorite, right? I can't even remember now.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah. So maybe mine was the stunner, I don't know. But anyway, all right, Lance, the reason you're here, not only are you our pal and our chum, but we want you to talk about the great Randy Savage, the Macho Man. Now, Larry says he wasn't a big fan of the Macho Man. I enjoyed him at the time. I liked him. But I think, like I said, the older I get, the more I respect him as a professional wrestler, just because of everything he brought to the table. Now, how do you feel about the Macho Man?
Well, I take a little bit of both. Like, I agree with Larry. Like, he wasn't one of my biggest, best wrestlers where I thought. But, like, looking back on his career, like, definitely, he was one of the first wrestlers that really brought the high-flying style to like, the WWF. I mean, he sort of was one, he could actually back up the wrestling, whereas, like, Hogan couldn't really wrestle all that great. He was just big and muscular. And a lot of their guys were like that, but Savage could actually... Obviously, when you think of Savage, you think of Savage Steamboat, in WrestleMania 3, and it was... that match stole WrestleMania, and everybody bought it for Hogan Andre, but Savage Steamboat was clearly the best match on the card.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that's not only his best match, but possibly the best wrestling match ever. Now,
I've heard that. I've heard that about that match.
I think that's a little silly myself, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, especially when you've seen, like, the Flair Steamboat. They had that three-match series back in the day, too. I'd say theirs were probably a little bit better than Savage. But, I mean, Savage and Steamboat was great. There's no denying that.
Yeah, but you hit on the big point with Savage. He was great in the ring, and he was great outside the ring. He mixed entertainment with athleticism. He could do it all. And I loved his elbow off the top rope, because a lot of guys jump out when they do, but he seemed to always jump up and then, like, get real high and then just fall down on the guy, And,
yeah, right.
Yeah, he was just great. I never really cared too much for the Elizabeth stuff. I mean, yeah, I know that was a big chunk of what he was, obviously, but I could have done with a little less Elizabeth storylines. But it was good, I guess, for the character. Showed him, being a goofball and all. But so you got to take the good with the bad. But now his later WCW days, I don't even want to get into that stuff when he's dying his beard black. I like to think of him as the Macho Man, and with the glasses and the crazy outfits, and just his interviews with Mean Gene are great. Do you ever? When he died, I happened to go back and go through some of those old interviews, and they were just tremendous. In fact,
I did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I did go through a little bit. Like you said, I do listen to this one podcast. I'll plug it a little bit. It's a live audio wrestling, and they did a little bit of tribute on Macho Man. They brought out some clips, and it was just amazing the way he was nuts sort of about it. He would go off into it's like I'm gonna have the condominium on the moon or whatever. And I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, he was just very bizarre. I guess a lot of people say he was on drugs back then, kind of heavily, but he would just say random things. And Larry, I think I actually have a clip. If you go Dell's/Randy Savage interview, I think is the audio clip. Is it there, Larry?
No. Randy Savage interview?
Oh yeah, I thought I put it with the other top 10, or top 11. But yeah, go Randy Savage interview. It's a 1-minute clip, him talking to Mean Gene Okerlund, and he walks out, he's holding a teacup. Keep that in mind.
No, that's what you're telling me it's called? Oh.
Yeah, it should be.
I found it, never mind. All right, here we go.
Beach, Sarasota, Florida. Come on in. You're going to be defending against the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat. What's the cup for?
WrestleMania 3, Pontiac, Michigan. Yeah, 90,000 plus people watching right there. And this is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time, because he'll never get closer than now. I am the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, and I will remain the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And George the Animal Steel on the outside will be no factor, yeah.
You say no factor. Obviously, he is a factor, or you wouldn't even brought it up.
Oh, wow, Mr. Sarcasm, yeah. I don't care if you got 23 wrestlers around the outside, and it doesn't even matter, no, because I am ready, and I will not let this opportunity slip through my fingers. Cup of coffee, man, yeah. Man! Wow, man!
Yeah, that's it. Wow, man, he just sort of drifts away, backwards. He just drifts out of the shot. But, yeah, it's just great. Who else gives an interview like that,
Well, and also back in the,
come on, please.
Yeah. Also back in the day, when WWF was, they would shoot about 10 interviews for when they were doing their house shows or whatever. And they said Savage, he'd be fighting one guy, he'd do one interview, and all of a sudden he'd go into a total different tangent, fighting the same guy in a different town for another interview. He was really good with that as well.
Yeah, I just the character's great. I just love that. And now we already talked about his match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which that was previewing there, that clip. What were some of his other best feuds? He had the one with Ric Flair, where Flair said he had been with Elizabeth before Randy. That was great.
Yeah, that was great. And, of course, the Mega Powers.
Yeah, I wrote an article about that Ric Flair one back when Sean Avery said he was with Alicia Cuthbert before Dion Phaneuf, and I wrote an article about that, and I had the clips, and that was just tremendous, Ric Flair. And in the end, didn't it turn out that he had doctored up some photos, and he put himself in the photos instead over Randy, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, yeah.
That's good times. And Kurt Hennig was Ric Flair's corner man for the fight, and that was good times. What else? Who else did he feud? Well, he won his first Intercontinental belt against Tito Santana.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's right.
He pulled out, he had the dreaded illegal foreign object in his trunks, and he pulled it out and conked him on the head with it, and then pinned him, and he stole the IC belt. And then he held the belt for about 12 months or 13 months, maybe even 14 when he added up, but which was one of the longer reigns in history. But he only held it once, and then he held the heavyweight title twice. Do you remember who he beat to win it, Lance?
Well, he won in the tournament. Who did he beat in the final? Was it DiBiase?
That's right. It was Ted DiBiase, because Andre vacated the title. Andre beat Hogan, right, to get the belt. Is that how it went down? And then
DiBiase paid Andre for the belt, and then the WWE vacated the belt because Jack Tunney, I think, was the president. He was saying
that's right.
Because it had to be one in the ring. You couldn't buy the belt, so they just vacated it.
So they had a tournament, and then Savage had to he had to wrestle like 4 times that night. Well, if I recall, wasn't DiBiase like buying off all his matches? Like, didn't he just pay everybody?
I remember all this now that you're talking about it.
Yeah, wasn't he paying to take dives?
I thought he had something to do with that, yeah.
Yeah,
so then,
that does sound familiar.
So then DiBiase and Macho Man meet in the finals, and Macho Man wins the belt. And then he ends up losing it, I think, to, I have it written down here, I think the Ultimate Warrior, right? Is that who he loses it to? I got it written down here somewhere. Come on, Lance, you don't remember this?
I am unblanking.
Yeah, he lost it to the Warrior, and then he got the belt back a second time by beating Ric Flair, but then he lost the belt to Ric Flair. So in his whole career, Macho Man he held the Intercontinental title once, and he held that for 414 days, which was the 7th longest run in history. He beat Tito for it, and he lost it to Steamboat. And then the world titles, he had 2, and he held those for 520 days combined. So that title reign of 520 days combined is actually 9th all-time, and it's 9 days shorter than Austin's 6 title reigns. So that kind of puts it in perspective. He basically was champ as long as Austin, but he held the belt 4 fewer times. And he also held the belt longer than The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, and Randy Orton, who has 6 title reigns, which is ridiculous. Now, Lance, do you know who has the record for most heavyweight title championship reigns in WWFE history?
I'm gonna guess Triple H.
Very good. Yeah, that's why you're our wrestling expert, because you knew that.
Yeah.
Now he's actually tied with John Cena. John Cena and Triple H each have held the belt 8 times.
Bullshit.
It's just insane, right? 8 times?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. But the thing is that the reigns don't mean as much, because the titles are changing hands. Like back in Savage's day, like you rolled off the 500 and some days because you actually held the belt for a while. The belt had more meaning back then. Yeah, exactly.
Plus, they didn't change titles. You were never going to see a title change on a Monday night show or a Saturday morning show. You were never going to see it. Yeah, pay-per-view.
Now, in world title history, the world title belt has been around for 58 years, and there's been 103 different title reigns. And I think 66 men have held the belt. So that's roughly, a little less than 2 reigns per year. The Intercontinental belt has been around for only 32 years, and they've had 130 different title reigns. So you're talking more than 4 champs a year for the Intercontinental belt.
All right, here we go. Lance, in order, give me the 130 people that have held the Intercontinental belt. Go.
I'll give you the first one, though, because it's Pat Patterson was the first one.
That is correct.
And basically, they claim he won the belt in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, but they just gave him the belt. He didn't beat anybody for it.
That's nice. Now, do you know who has held the Intercontinental title the longest consecutively in 1 title reign?
Is it still Honky Tonk Man?
I believe it is. Yeah, the Honky Tonk Man. Wow. Honky Tonk Man, he had it for 454 days in just 1 run. Now, who holds the record for longest combined ownership of the belt?
You mean number of times?
Or number of days. Yeah,
number of days. Boy. I don't know who. Yeah,
that would be Pedro Morales.
He had
2 title reigns combined. They lasted 619 days. The Magnificent Morocco had 2 title reigns that lasted 541. But then Honky Tonk Man is 3rd as far as days, 454. Jericho, I just gave it away. But Jericho held the Intercontinental belt the most. Do you happen to know how many times he held it?
I don't. I would have guessed Jericho was the most, but I'd say he's probably like 7 or 8.
9 times. It's ridiculous.
9 times.
In his total title reign, only 318 days, and he held it 9 times.
9 times.
So he's like winning it once and then giving it away the next month. Jeff Jarrett and Rob Van Dam are second with 6 titles each. Intercontinental.
Jeff Jarrett.
RVD's held the Intercontinental title 6 times?
6 times. I know. I was shocked at that as well. He only held the world title once, and I think it lasted 22 days. Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, it wasn't long. Yeah.
But this is another good trivia. Do you know who? Well, we already mentioned Andre. He held it the fewest amount of days. He only held the belt once. Andre the Giant was only champion once, and he held it for 0 days because his reign didn't come. Who's next for the shortest title reign? If you think you could probably get it, because it changed hands on Raw, and I actually remember this.
Was it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shane McMahon.
No, Kane.
Vince McMahon.
No, Vince was actually third shortest. Mr. McMahon held it once for 6 days. Kane held it once for 1 day. Remember, Austin came back and just beat him on the Monday Raw right after a pay-per-view, I think?
And I was going to say, I'll give you the second probably would be The Undertaker.
No, I'm sorry. I kind of counted Andre there. So it was McMahon, Kane, and Andre, the bottom three. Stan Stasiak would be the fourth, if ever you want to look at it. And Buddy Rod.
Are you talking ever?
Yes, ever. In the
like,
history of the world.
Not somebody that's held the title like 4 times, but only one of them was for 9 hours type of deal. You're just talking total amount of time with the belt.
Yeah. Okay.
So Kane's never won the title except for 1 day?
Yeah, he held it once for 1 day.
Really? That seems weird to me, considering he's still around and they still haven't pushed him to the title again.
No, and I was looking up something about Macho Man. I forget who put the list together. Like, they were saying the best wrestling angles in history, and then they had the worst wrestling angles. And Kane was listed. I think it was like Pro Wrestling Torch or whatever, like their yearly award winners. And I looked at who won the worst angle each year, and Kane was in like 4 or 5 of them. So apparently Kane doesn't get a lot of respect.
He's very good. Yes.
Rob Van Dam held it once for 22 days. The Iron Sheik held the belt only once for 28 days. Wow. Batista twice for 37 days. I thought he was. I wasn't watching wrestling then, but I just always thought he was a bigger guy, like a draw. You know?
Sheik dropped the belt to Hogan.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Hogan
did a
Lance pushed up out of the clutch.
Yeah, who'd he beat? I'm sure you know that though.
Who? The Sheik?
Yeah, who'd the Sheik beat?
I think. I'm looking at.
He beat Killer Kowalski.
Bob
Backlund. He beat Bob Backlund.
Yeah, he beat Bob Backlund. Jeff Hardy held the heavyweight title.
Jeff Hardy? He held a couple. I think he held it a couple times.
That is ridiculous.
Is one of them dead? The Hardy Boys?
No, Jeff was actually TNA champ, but then he came out like recently, like when he held the belt, he came out physically unable to perform. You know, in other words, he was on drugs. So Sting beat him in like 1 minute for the belt, and we haven't seen him since that, I don't think.
Sting? Jeff
Sting,
Hardy. What year is this wrestling channel you're watching, Lance?
Jeff Hardy held the heavyweight title once for 42 days. Mankind had it 3 times.
Who?
Mankind. But 3 times for only 47 days. So basically, he was always the transition guy, right? Like when Austin wouldn't drop the belt to Triple H, if I recall, right? And he would say, I'll lose it to Mankind. And then they'd have Mankind lose to Triple H, and that's how they switched the belt to Triple H. Isn't that what happened? Like a lot?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who the worst heavyweight champion would be. Stan Stasiak. Huh? Who canceled?
What about Mean Gene? Did he ever win the belt?
No. Not that I can see. Psycho Sid, Jericho Jericho had the heavyweight strap for 98 days. Once for 98 days. Ric Flair had it twice. Eddie Guerrero once.
Woo!
Wow.
Hey, at least David Arquette didn't win the WWF title, so I'll give you that one.
Ultimate Warrior. Randy Orton has had the belt 6 times.
Oh my God.
There's a story where I guess Randy Orton he boarded the wrong plane. Like when he was trying to go home, he had to get all. He was supposed to go back to St. Louis. Here he boarded a plane for Fayetteville, Arkansas.
So what is that? Nice.
Yeah, he's very smart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they took the belt away from him once. Just for that. Yeah, because he's tied with Hogan and Steve Austin for title reigns. Randy Orton, really? Randy Orton?
What about Cowboy Bob Orton? I liked him better.
Yeah. Bret Hart held the belt 5 times. Now, who held the belt the longest in terms of days? Not consecutively. He had the belt twice, and He holds
San
the record.
Martino.
That's right.
San
Not
Martino,
even close. 2 title reigns, 4,040 days. Second is
Hogan?
Hulk Hogan. Hogan is second with 6 title reigns that lasted 2,185. Then Bob Backlund is third, 2 title reigns, 2,138. So he's real close. Then Pedro Morales. What a machine he was. He was the IC guy, and now he is fourth, 1,027 with 1 title reign. John Cena, 8 title reigns, 971 and counting, is fifth. And then Bret Hart, Triple H, Steve Austin. Randy Savage is ninth. His 2 championship reigns lasted 520 days. So, yeah, there it is, the title history of the WWE. I'm fascinated by that stuff. I don't know. Is it just me?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And Macho Man never had the title or the tag titles. The Mega Powers never won the tag team titles.
No. The one other angle with him and Jake the Snake, I do remember.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of vividly, where the Snake, Jake actually put the Snake on Savage, and he was bleeding from the arm in the middle of the ring. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, of course, the Snake wasn't poisonous, but he was still fanged, obviously. So that's how he pulled that one off.
Yeah, he just bit it right into his arm because Savage was tied up in the ropes. You know how they always get tied up, and he slapped the Snake right on his arm. That was weird. I remember watching that. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. And Jake the Snake. Yeah, he had good runs with Savage. I'm trying to think who else Savage feuded with a lot. I guess the Warrior.
Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan. He always was in Hogan's shadow, you know. And,
yes.
Who else? Did he ever fight with Honky Tonk Man? Not too much, I don't think.
No,
I don't know if you know this or not.
Good.
But the Honky Tonk Man, he was cool, and he was cocky, and he was bad.
Well, we'll talk about Honky Tonk a little bit later when we get to
Sure we will.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, any other thoughts on Macho Man there, Lance?
No, I think we said enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever like Slim Jims?
I love Slim Jims.
Yeah, I just don't snap into them too much, though.
Yeah.
I eat them all the
tell
time.
you, just this past Easter, the wife put together an Easter basket for the kids and for my nephews, and she threw in some Slim Jims. It was an impulse buy at the cash register. She just said, what the hell, I'll grab some Slim Jims and put them in. And I was like, I don't know, do kids even still eat Slim Jims? And my nephew Alex, he's 8 years old, the thing he was most excited about was the Slim Jim.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, he's like, Slim Jim, sweet. So,
This Alex, he knows.
And Alex is a wrestler. He's already wrestling, so he could be the next Macho Man. You got to look out.
Huh.
Yeah.
Look out.
But, all right, let's get into the top 11 wrestlers, Larry.
Well, hold on. Before we get into the top 11, I got something else wrestling related. The other day I was over at the video store, and I rented the WWE All-Star game for the Wii.
Oh, WWE All-Star game for the Wii.
Yeah. Lance, you're aware of this game, yes?
Yeah.
Is this the one they played on Tough Enough? Like, just on this past Tough Enough, they were playing a video game?
It is that one, yes.
Oh, because that looked pretty darn cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I rented it, and, I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it. There's not a whole lot of variety on it as far as, what you can do. There's, you can go, a 10-match gauntlet sort of situation, and it's relatively easy to go through it and just beat, and then, you technically, quote-unquote, win the belt or whatever, and then you just start over again. And that's about all you can really do. I guess you can fight one-on-one with your buddies in that, but there's not a career mode or anything like that. You can create your own guy, which I did. I'm Larry Legend on there. I'm badass.
Should we ask what Larry Legend looks like on that game?
He looks like he could be very close to one of the Village People.
You're Larry Zbyszko?
Yeah, Larry Zbyszko.
I'm Larry Legend.
Now, what's Larry Legend's finishing move?
The rock bottom.
Now, do you call it something else, or you just call it the rock bottom?
Yeah, I just call it the rock bottom.
Now, how many WWE superstars are on there? Is Macho Man on there?
Yeah, Macho Man's on there, and there's a bunch of guys on there. The Warrior, Hogan, The Rock and Austin. Who else? I'm trying to think some of the older guys that are on there.
Andre's on there, I'm sure.
Yeah, Andre and Snuka. Steamboat's on there. You know, just a bunch of guys like that. Here's another thing I don't like about the game. Okay, so when you're doing your 10-match gauntlet thing or whatever, say, you know, match number 7 that you got to fight. It's an elimination match, 4-way dance, if you will. Okay, so the match loads. Now, the first thing that comes up is a cut screen of, like, what arena you're fighting in. Okay, it's like, oh, you're at SummerSlam, it's Raw, it's, you know, whatever. Okay, then you got to hit the button to exit out of that. Then your intro music comes up and your video. You got to exit out of that. You know, then in between each of this, it's like, you know, it says please wait loading, and then it goes to like the next intro music. Oh, here comes Superfly. He's walking down. You know, you got to exit out of that. Please wait loading. Here comes Honky Tonk Man. You know, and it just does that. Like you can't not play the intro music like as part of like the options.
That's
you got to sit through like it takes 2 minutes to get to the match, and it's annoying.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. Wow. So all in all, I'd give it like a 5. I don't really.
Wow.
It could have been a lot better. They could have, if you could do more with it. I would like it more. Yeah. The matches themselves are fun. You know, like when you do the rock bottom, it's not just the rock bottom. I mean, you go 22 feet in the air with the dude and you slam him down, and there's like fireworks that go off when you hit the mat, and you know, it's like cartoonish in that sort of sense. So it's fun, but there's just not a whole lot of variety to do with it. So, 5 out of 10 for the WWF game.
Oh, look at you.
WWE.
All right.
So, I also rented the Legos Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, you love the Lego games?
Yeah, it's okay. It's it's as good as the other ones, I guess. I give it like an 8. The problem with this game, though, for me, is once again there's incredibly long scenes that set up like each level as you go, and you can't fast forward through them. You got to sit through like this whole 2-3 minute little Lego mini movie to get to like the next board, and that's annoying. And plus, there's
you can't skip them.
Not on the Pirates of the Caribbean one. You can't.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, because I know my nephews have the other ones, and they can skip the scenes if they want.
Yeah, you can't do it with this one. I've pushed every button combination, waiting. And the other thing, this game, it's kind of defective. It keeps locking up on me once I get like so far. So like, you know, I didn't get to play it that much, but you know, it's fun if you like the Lego games. Give it like an 8.
There you go, the Video Game Corner with Larry Legend. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, Larry Legend.
Yeah. All right, Lance, you ready for the top 11?
Sure.
The numbers all go to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
LCS Hockey's top 11.
11!
All right, Larry, top 11 wrestlers. Now these are yeah, go ahead. You have a point?
Here's what we're gonna do tonight. We're all gonna have a lot of the same guys. So just you and Lance go with your top 11s. I have a list, and maybe at the end I'll just run through if you guys missed a name or something. But you guys battle it out, and I'll just kind of referee.
Oh, Lance, you prepared a list?
Yeah,
yes,
Lance
I do
has
have
a list.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that. I thought you were just coming on the comment. Oh, yeah, so this will be good. Now, Lance, how'd you put your list together? Like, did you look at it like the top 11 wrestlers in history, or your top 11 favorite wrestlers?
No, my top 11 definitely. Yeah, these wouldn't be top 11 in history.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. Like, these are the top 11 these are my personal favorites. You know?
Yes.
So, all right. Well, Lance, you start. You're the guest. Number 11. Who you got?
All right, number 11. I was a big UWF fan in the day, and you know I wanted to put somebody in that federation. Like the Freebirds would be a collective, so I didn't really use them. I used Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert at number 11.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. I don't even remember.
Wow. I remember that guy.
Yeah, he ran a stable called Hot Stuff International. He actually wound up, when Missy Hyatt went into the UWF, him and her actually combined to create Hyatt and Hot Stuff International, and he actually wound up marrying Missy Hyatt. And yeah, his finishing move was the hot shot, where he like whipped the guy off the ropes, and they picked him up by the legs and dropped him over the top rope and onto the top rope with their neck, and then pinned him. So
that doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah, that's a different finishing move. Like you haven't seen that one copied, really. You know.
No.
He's
one. I would imagine.
Yeah. Was Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, was he kind of like a Michael P.S. Hayes, like flamboyant, cocky, blonde-haired looking guy.
Yeah, he was smaller than Michael Hayes, but yeah, he was
but like
short,
personality-wise, he was kind of like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And like, with the Hot Stuff International, like that's where Sting got his start. Rick Steiner was part of the stable, like back in the day before they moved on to the WCW.
Yeah, I don't remember him at all. But
yeah,
Hot Stuff Eddie.
Look at Lance busting wrestling knowledge on your ass.
Now, Larry, for my guys, I have intro music. So Lance, you see if you can recognize this intro music.
Yeah,
now,
Lance, we're gonna test your knowledge on wrestling intro themes.
Oh,
they're
thanks.
they're all pretty easy. I don't think you're gonna. There's only one I think you miss. I think you'll get everyone else. But this one's pretty obvious. Go ahead, Larry.
Are they long?
No, like 15, 20 seconds.
Come on! You know I got ya! Yeah! One! Break the wall! Break down the walls! Put down the fire! I love the wall! Baby, you know you do this! And I'm your queen! Baby, what I got is not from the league! We with the stage and the waves of the beat! Stephanie, I will embrace the wall! Yeah! Stephanie, I will embrace the wall! Yeah!
Yeah, there it is.
And of course, that's the man of 1,004 holds, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Y2J, Chris Jericho. Yeah, I love Jericho. Jericho was the official wrestler of LCS hockey back in the day. He's a fine fella. And he was just on Dancing with the Stars too, Larry. He was on this season.
Yeah, that was Nick's favorite. He made her moist.
Well, that's a little more than I needed, but all right. But Chris Jericho, he's a good guy because he was funny. You know, he was legitimately funny. Like he's one of the few wrestlers.
Yeah, he had a good personality.
Yeah, not all the wrestlers are funny, but he was legitimately funny. And some of the gags he used to do, you already mentioned the man of 1,004 holds, because didn't Dean Malenko used to say he was the man of 1,000 holds? So
yes,
Jericho was feuding with Malenko, and he said he was the man of 1,004, and he'd bring a list to the ring and he'd read them off, and like every fifth one was an arm bar. You know?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and Y2J, he was always a little fella. He was like really a middleweight, but so that's kind of weird that they pushed him up into the heavyweight division there. And he always had to wrestle in those big, high, thick boots, like Herman Munster boots, just to make him look taller, you know? So.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about him later. So.
Oh, okay, all right, we'll save it then. All right, Lance.
For me. Oh, all right, go ahead.
Oh, wait, yeah, you have something, Larry?
I was going to say, for me, like, Jericho really started taking off for me is when he started the whole, welcome to Monday Night Jericho over on Nitro, like he took over the show. Do you remember all that whole angle? Yeah, welcome to Monday Night Jericho.
Yeah, I love the Monday Night Jericho, and
Go ahead. I was just going to say, that's when I really started paying attention to Jericho. I'm like, hey, this guy's kind of cool.
Yeah, all the Gilbert stuff with Goldberg. He had that little Gilbert and that guy.
Yeah, I loved when he would do the 1 foot pin when he'd put his foot on it and he'd like flex. Come on, baby.
Yeah, the come on, baby was the best. Yeah.
All right, so
good people. All right, Lance, number 10.
Number 10, I have a member of the NWO, Razor Ramon, also known as Scott Hall.
Yeah, see, I had Scott Hall on my list, but then I bumped him. I'm a big Scott Hall fan. I enjoy.
See, I bumped him on. I had a little bit of trouble at the bottom too, but I figured I had to have somebody from the NWO because I did love them back in the day, and I wasn't going to put Hogan on there, and Kevin Nash was so. Yeah, Ramon, I mean, obviously, he wasn't the greatest wrestler at all, but, I mean, he was awesome on the mic, and that's the way I remember him.
But I think he was vastly superior in terms of, like, Kevin Nash, as far as wrestling.
Oh,
he was
God,
yeah. Yeah, like, he was a good wrestler. He's just, his finishing move was great, too, the Razor's
Edge was one of the greatest finishing moves ever.
Yeah, describe it, Larry, for people who don't remember.
He kind of picks up a guy, they're kind of back-to-back. Ramon's standing with the guy in the air on his back, his arms outstretched, and he kind of falls forward and the guy lands on his neck.
Yeah. It's almost like the guy's crucified behind him. Like he's holding him up.
Yeah, he's crucified.
And then just drops him on his shoulders and neck. Yeah, and Oh, we shouldn't. Well, we'll talk about Jericho. I was going to say we didn't talk about his finishing move, but I have a feeling we'll talk about him later, like you said. So, but yeah, Scott Hall. He had a lot of runs in the WWF there as the Razor Ramon, where he was the Intercontinental Champ. And did he ever have the heavyweight belt though? I don't think. Huh?
Man,
No, I don't think he did. No.
Yeah. So, what else do you like about him there, Lance?
That's it.
Yeah, I liked when he'd come out and say, "Hey, yo," you know.
Yeah.
And he'd be chewing the toothpick, and he'd flick the toothpick at somebody. That was awesome.
Say hello to the bad guy.
Yeah, Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Great.
All
All
right,
right, Larry.
was number 4 on my list.
Oh, yeah. He was number 4 on my list, actually, originally, and he got bumped all the way from 4 to not being on the list.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, he finished 4 on my list. I love
all right, my number 10. Hit the music.
Super fly.
Kind of gives it away. It almost sounds like a video game from Nintendo.
What the hell is that?
It almost sounds like one of those almost like one of those Japanese like theme musics. You know,
It sounds like something from the Risky Business soundtrack.
I was thinking more
of
Mega
course.
Man. Yeah, Mega Man soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, of course,
I never even...
Superfly Jimmy Snuka would be who that is.
That's right. Super
Really?
fly.
That's his theme music? I would have never guessed that in 20 years.
Yeah. Snuka, when I was a little kid, Snuka was my favorite wrestler, so that's why he's on the list, just old time's sake. I mean, he really wasn't, he's kind of a goofball, really, right? But, like, he wasn't, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, everybody remembers because he was the guy that jumped off the cage. You know, that's the
Morocco,
you know, thing
he went off the cage.
I loved Don Morocco back in the day. He didn't quite make the list, but he definitely would have made. He made honorable mention. The Magnificent One.
We might be hearing about him a little later.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
I'm glad we will. Yes.
But Snuka, I just love the fact that he went off the top rope. You know, when you're a little kid, that's the best. Jumping off the top rope, splashing guys. You know.
And barefoot, which was kind of cool.
And I was irate when Steamboat came along and was flying off the top rope. I'm like, you're just ripping off Superfly, you punk. You know, I didn't like it.
Everybody rips off somebody else, you know.
Yeah, but Snuka, so there he is. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. All right, Lance,
I would have
number
never
9.
cut that theme music. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been a little bit hard. You sort of could hear the Superfly or whatever at the beginning.
Yeah.
Number 9, I have a member of the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard.
Nice.
Tully Blanchard. That's a nice choice. I thought you were going to go Dan Hampton.
Oh.
Remember the Four Horsemen? You a Four Horsemen member for a while?
Sure.
Remember? No, you don't remember Dan Hampton of the Bears? Wasn't he? Mongo McMichael.
You talking about Mongo McMichael?
Yeah, that's
Dan Hampton.
Who the hell is Dan Hampton? He just made that name up.
My Chicago Bears lineman. Yeah, Mongo McMichael. Yeah.
Either him or I could have pulled out Paul Roma as well. Yeah.
Oh, Roma. Ouch.
No, none of those.
Barry Windham would be the other terrible member of the Four Horsemen, right?
Yeah,
Lance
he's way
likes Barry Windham, though.
I'm not a huge Wyndham fan. He's much better than those two guys you just mentioned.
You know what,
though.
Lance? I mentioned this before on the show that the only wrestling event I've ever attended live, I was about 10 or 11 or something. I went and I saw the main event at the Civic Arena, Hulk Hogan versus Jesse the Body Ventura, and Bobby the Brain Heenan was guest referee. But on the undercard, I think it was one of Barry Windham's first shows with the WWF. Because I remember as a kid seeing Barry Windham there, and I was like, who's Barry Windham? And he was just breaking in with them, you know.
I hope you have that ticket stub. That could be worth tens of cents.
So, Tully Blanchard. He had that, what was it, the Brain Buster? Wasn't that his finishing move?
Well, actually, he had the slingshot suplex, which is another move that nobody's really copied that move, which is sort of weird. You know, he would pick you up in like a front suplex, he'd drop you over the top rope, and then snap you back and drop you to the mat. Yeah.
But didn't he also do a Brain Buster?
I think Arn mostly did the Brain Buster, I think. Yeah, I think it was more Arn with the Brain Buster. Yeah.
Wow. That's basically a suplex where you just drop them straight down on their head.
Yes.
Like a power driver with your arm.
Yeah. But Tully, he was just another good talker. He was great in the ring, and that's
a solid choice. That's a true wrestling fan choice. You're not going to hear a lot of Sunday, casual wrestling fans say, "Oh, Tully Blanchard." Yes, that's a good expert opinion. Right
almost made my list. Almost.
Wow, look at you, liking Tully Blanchard.
Yeah. I love Tully Blanchard.
My number 9. Now, I would guess, Lance, you're going to have no idea about this music.
Okay.
Because I didn't even know he had this song as his music. So. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It really doesn't. Yeah. Any ideas?
It sounds like it. I don't know. Is it Ultimate Warrior?
No.
No. Okay. It sort of sounds like a remix of that. Yeah.
Is it
Larry?
Andy Kaufman?
No. It's a little guy called Nikita Koloff.
Oh God.
I love
the
Nikita
Russian
Koloff.
Nightmare.
Yeah, the Russian Nightmare.
Back
in
like
the
a
day,
Russian Goldberg.
Well, yeah, before Goldberg though, years and years and years. But he was great. Him and Ivan Koloff, they were always going for the tag titles. And what organization was that? NWA back then, right?
It was NWA. Yeah, it was the Mid-Atlantic region of the NWA. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were great because I was always watching WWF as a kid, but every once in a while, I'd turn on TBS and I'd watch because that was always on TBS. Correct? Am I remembering this properly?
Yeah, it was on TBS, and you also had like we got it in Pittsburgh. Like you could get the NWA Worldwide Wrestling was syndicated. That was like on Saturday afternoons too. I think like on Channel 22 or something like that.
But yeah, I love Koloff, and of course he wasn't Russian. He's just some dude. I forget his real name. He's some American dude. But
John
the Russian sickle, the big finishing move, the clothesline, the Russian sickle.
Yep.
Dude was a monster. Nikita Koloff.
Oh yeah, he was. I remember the Best of 7 series he had with Magnum TA for the U.S. title.
That's right, Larry. Because I was listening to our tag team show earlier when I was trying to figure out if we did top 11 wrestlers, and both Larry and I were ripping on Magnum TA, how much we hated Magnum TA. So there, you should like Koloff in Larry because he beat the hell out of Magnum TA.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say how much I hate Magnum TA.
Yeah. The first generation Diamond Dallas Page. He is to Diamond Dallas Page what Robin Williams is to Dane Cook, right? Is that how you like on the SAT, if you're filling out the SAT, kids, if you're doing it this time of year, that'll be a question. All right, Lance, what do you have? Number 8?
Yeah, number 8, I have Bill Mulkey.
I have no idea who that is. No idea.
Okay. It was a joke, but you don't remember Randy and Bill Mulkey were this scrub tag team in the NWA back in the day, but then then they won. Then Mulkey Mania was running wild. They won one match.
All right.
I don't remember the Mulkey brothers.
Yeah. No, my real number 8 is man I like to call Rob Van Dam.
Oh, well, you know what? Let's save the Rob Van Dam talk because we'll be hearing from him a little bit later on my list. In fact, Larry, hit the music. Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show.
Yes.
He had a bunch of theme music, so it's kind of I just picked one. But Rob Van Dam, he's my number 8 as well. Lance, look at that synchronicity.
Yeah.
No, I just like Rob Van Dam because he was the whole effing show in ECW. He would come out there at the main event and he would just put on a show like you'd never seen before. Nothing but like 15 minutes of just nonstop action, just full force, like fast paced, jumping around like a monkey, and he had all these crazy finishing moves. What do you call it when the Terminator?
The Van Terminator. Yeah, the Van Terminator, the Van Daminator. Yeah, he had a bunch of. And of course, the 5-star Frog Splash.
Frog Splash. Yeah, the best Frog Splash ever. Yeah, Rob Van Dam. And I'm trying to remember the one where he would do all the somersault, not the.
Rolling Thunder. They would call
Rolling Thunder. Yeah. And then he'd kick them he'd put a chair in front of their face and then roll into it and kick it, or he'd throw a chair
up for him.
Yeah.
That was the Van Terminator was where he threw the chair at the guy that caught it, and then he did a spin kick to the guy's head. Yeah.
But nothing was better in the day than the ECW matches, and he would come out and he'd point to his back with his thumbs, Rob Van Dam, the whole fucking show, and the crowd would start chanting the whole fucking show. Oh, that's great. Right?
Yeah, and then he became Mr. Monday Night also, like later in the ECW run when they were starting to evade WWF, he took on that angle.
Yeah, Mr. Monday Night. Yeah. Now, Larry, I know you're big fans of Rob Van Dam, right?
Not really.
What?
I mean, I like him. He's, fine and everything. If I like him better as the stoner podcast host than I do than the wrestler. He's okay, I guess. I was never a big fan of Rob Van Dam. I don't like the ECW guys. I really don't. I didn't like that. It was too crazy for me. I don't like all that shit.
All right, Lance, number 7.
Number 7 will be somebody both of you probably haven't really heard of, but he wrestles in Japan. He was back in the NWA back in the day. KJ Muto, they're known as the Great Muta.
Oh, the Great Muta.
The Great Muta. Yeah. You love the Great Muta.
Yeah. I do love the Great Muta, yeah. He wasn't
he on your Twitter for a while?
What's that?
Wasn't he like the background picture on your Twitter account for
He
a
was
while?
the background of my MySpace back in that day, I think.
Wow. Okay, MySpace.
The Great Muta. I don't even remember what he looked like. Did he paint his face white or something? Or?
He painted his face different colors. He did wrestle in the NWA for a little time. He was with Gary Hart as his manager when they had the JTEX Japanese Texas Corporation. And
I don't even remember.
He was a thin guy. He did all kinds of crazy moonsaults. He sprayed the mist. They made him out to be. I don't know if you knew who Great Kabuki was.
Yeah, I remember Kabuki.
They pretended like he was Kabuki's son for a while when he first came in, but that sort of went away. His handspring elbow was the one big move. He would whip the guy into the ropes, and then he'd do like a somersault back spring elbow, and he had he was probably one of the first ones to do the moonsault as well, and he did a real, his moonsault was so quick, it was unbelievable. But yeah, he's amazing.
How about that? Dipping into the Japanese ranks. Look at you.
Yeah.
All right, well, number 7, I put Macho Man at 7 just out of respect for the fallen. God bless you.
Okay.
Godspeed. Yeah. All right, we talked about him enough. So, Lance, number 6, right?
Number 6 will be the only guy that's currently has a big spot in the WWF Raw would be CM Punk.
Ooh.
CM Punk. Now, I saw this kid the other night. Was he one of the title holders, a tag team title holder, or did he just lose it or something? Is that?
They wrestled for the titles on Day, but he didn't have them. But they wrestled for them and they lost.
But he's kind of like a high flyer guy, right?
Sort of. He runs the group called the Nexus. He's known as being straight edge because he's never had alcohol or anything like that. He sort of actually built that into his persona, but he would say, I'm straight edge and that makes me better than you. When he was a bad guy.
But doesn't that mean also no ladies? The straight edge? Can you allow to have a lady?
I don't know if he's that straight edge. But
yeah, that's really straight edge.
Yeah, that's right. But he did do a nice thing on Monday night. He came out he dressed with the Macho Man tights. He had the pink Macho Man, the pink tights with the yellow boots. The WrestleMania 3 outfit. He had the CM Punk in the same script on the tights. So it was a nice little tribute to the Macho Man.
Because Larry, our buddy Michigan Frank, he went to his girlfriend there is a doctor, medical assistant. So she had to work a wrestling event, a local wrestling event. And he went to one, and he was telling just a couple days ago, and it was right after Macho Man died. And I said, did they do any tributes to Macho Man? Did any of the guys come out like Macho Man or at least wrestle like him or flying elbows or anything? He's like, no. And I think that's a missed opportunity, right? If you're a local guy,
absolutely.
You should be coming.
Well, you know what? If I was wrestling in some local show and I saw Michigan Frank's ugly mug, I wouldn't try either.
All right. My number 6, I hit the music, Larry. You hear the bagpipes, it's about to go down. Rowdy Piper.
Oh, yes. It's Rowdy Piper, absolutely.
Yeah, entertaining fella. Now, he's another guy that never held the heavyweight title. And he only held the Intercontinental belt, I think, once. So as big of a name as he is in wrestling, he really wasn't a big title holder,
Well, he had Piper's Pit. That's better than a belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never held the he held the NWA U.S. title a few times and the Mid-Atlantic Championship a few times, but he never held a world belt at all. I don't think he didn't win the WCW one either.
Yeah, and I liked his finishing move back in the day was a sleeper hold, right? He just put you out with a sleeper. Raise the arm.
Yeah.
Bang. That's it. So I like that. But yeah, Roddy Piper. All right,
you say Roddy Piper is the best wrestler turned actor?
How many movies has he been in, though? Like 3?
Yeah. Same as Hogan and, the Cena and...
Rock's been in a lot of big movies, though.
Oh, yeah, I guess The Rock is the best. Yeah, I forgot about The Rock. Sorry about that. Go.
All right, Lance, number 5.
Number 5 is Roddy Piper.
Ah, there it is. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Wow.
Just one note I wrote down here, like one of my first memories of, like back when I was a real youngster, I would buy, we only got WWF in this area at that time, and I would buy the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines. Like Piper was wrestling this guy called Mass Superstar, and even back in that day, like they were, they built up the fact that Piper was so smart because like Mass Superstar used the bear hug as his finishing maneuver. Well, Piper that's back in that day. But Piper, I guess, calculated that he could be in the bear hug for I think it was 95 seconds before like the Mass Superstar would tire out, and then he'd be able to beat him because he'd be weakened from it.
That's great. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to get the wrestling magazines too, and that was great because that's like before the internet. That's how you got your wrestling news.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's the only way I knew guys. Like when I'd see a guy debut in the WWF, like, oh, I know that guy from the magazines. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go to the grocery store with my mother, and while she's shopping for groceries, I'd read the wrestling magazines, and I'd take one home. And and they treated it like real journalism, like real hardcore journalism. Get to the bottom of these stories. And it was great. Yeah.
I love it.
My number 5 is the Magnificent Morocco. And don't play the music, Larry, because it's actually the clip of him. The reason why he's number 5 is because I just saw this video the other day of him eating a sandwich, and I put it out on the Twitters. He was eating a meatball hoagie during a match. Do you remember this, Lance?
I saw the clip you posted. Yes.
It is the greatest thing I've ever seen. He's beating a guy up and he's eating a meatball hoagie. Captain Lou Albano is feeding him a sandwich during the match. That's how confident he was. How confident.
Who is this? Don Morocco?
Yeah, Magnificent Morocco. Yeah, and he was a great Intercontinental champ. He was the guy that Snuka went off the top the cage on, but Morocco, he was a big time heel in the early '80s, and then he switched to he was the original Rock. They called him Rock.
Yeah.
So go to my Twitters at Michael Paul and you can find it, or just Google up Magnificent Morocco eating a sandwich, and you can see it's hilarious. I love it. So he gets to be in the top 5 just for that. We should mention about Piper though and Snuka. Another great Piper moment was when he cracked Snuka over the head with a coconut, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you got to bring that up, obviously.
Moment.
Yeah.
All right, Lance, number 4.
Let me get a plug in real quick before we have about 10 minutes left. For all this pro wrestling talk, my one buddy does. He just started a wrestling blog. His name's Dan Serpak. If you want to go on to ProWrestlingPlayByPlay.com, he's doing. He does like a recap after Raw and SmackDown. It's pretty good read for any of you wrestling fans out there. I figured I'd throw that out there. So.
ProWrestlingPlayByPlay.com, is that what you said?
Yes, it's one word, no hyphens or anything like that. Just ProWrestlingPlayByPlay.com. So.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's good stuff. My number 4 will be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, Austin's great. I love him. I didn't put him on my list because after a while his bit kind of got tired. Just drinking the beer and everything.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I hated that. The what? Oh, I couldn't take it. The what drove me nuts.
The what was the end of it for me, yeah.
Yeah, once that started happening, it was done. I couldn't take it anymore.
I agree.
He was great.
I totally agree. Yeah, but he has to be on there. And when he started being liked, I didn't like him as much. When everybody loved him.
Everyone's better as a heel. Like, can you think of one guy who was better as a face than he was as a heel? Maybe Hogan, I guess, right?
Yeah, Hogan, definitely.
But I like the more. That's right. Yeah. As a face? No, I liked Hogan better as a heel, definitely.
Really?
Hogan makes a good heel, but he's definitely a better good guy, saving the day all the time.
What is that? What's that noise?
What is that?
What?
All right, there we go. We're good.
We good? All right, we're good.
Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
The CIA again. They're bugging the shows. My number 4. We don't have time for the music, Larry. But it's Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik, really?
I love the Iron Sheik.
Sheiky, I make you humble.
Back in the day,
him now on the Stern Show.
Oh, back in the day, he was so great. a couple years ago, I happened to see some old clip of AWA wrestling on ESPN2 or something, and it was just Iron Sheik wrestling some scrub, and just coming in, he was putting on a demonstration before the match of like juggling those billy clubs or whatever he used to do, those Indian juggling clubs.
Was that AWA? Was that AWA? I thought he did that in the WWF as well.
This was, you know, if they're showing it on ESPN2, well, maybe it was an old WWE. I don't know, whatever. But it was great. You know, it was just so entertaining, and the boots with the curled toes, and he was just the perfect heel, you know, the Iranian guy. And then, like Larry mentioned, in later life, he is hilarious. I had no idea. I saw some bunch of clips of him today, and he's just tremendous.
He spazzes out.
Yeah, he's great.
He just flips out.
Yeah, he's insane.
Is number 4 on my list. All right, Lance, number 3.
Number 3 is the Lionheart, Chris Jericho.
Ah, yeah, Chris Jericho.
Him.
Yeah, we talked about him enough. My number 3. Oh, we got to play this music, Larry, because it's so good. Number 3.
I got long sideburns and my hair slicked back. I'm coming to your town in my pink Cadillac. I'm just a honky-tonk man. I'm just a honky-tonk man. I'm just a honky-tonk man. I'm cool, I'm cocky, I'm bad.
He's cool, he's cocky, and he's bad, the honky-tonk man.
Yeah.
He is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Yeah, he's the best. He just came out dressed like Elvis, and he had the guitar. And he wasn't much of a wrestler, but he was just entertaining as all hell. And the shaker, rattle, and roll, the neck breaker, the finishing hole, and he bashed him over the head with the guitar. Oh, he's the best. And Lance, I just found this out today when I was sick and just sitting around the chair doing nothing. I got on the YouTubes, and he does all these shoot interviews where he just tells it like it is, you know. And I highly recommend him. Just you start watching Honky Tonk Man on the YouTubes. It is great.
He's pretty much burned all his bridges with, and he's coming back to WWF. That's for sure.
Yeah, he just looks like a slightly heavier Honky Tonk Man, Larry.
Like he has the big mutton chops.
Yeah, he still has the big sideburns.
He has a ponytail in the back. Yeah.
But he's hilarious, and he's so funny, and he's smart, and he just tells it. He buries Dusty Rhodes a couple times. Bret Hart, and it's just great. Honky Tonk Man is tremendous. And there's one clip I tweeted it out today. New Jack, Iron Sheik, and Honky Tonk Man just laying into Dusty Rhodes. They're just sitting on a couch. Oh, it's hilarious. You got to watch that.
If you're following Dell, he did send out earlier. I did take a look at it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
but Twitter's not working.
Well, when it starts working, check out that video because it is hilarious.
Yeah, you're not the only one saying that, Larry. I guess somebody else tweeted that they were saying that.
Okay.
Is everybody's Twitter not Twitter? Mine's been working, but somebody else also tweeted the same thing.
All right. Well, we're quickly running out of time. So, Lance, number 2. That's where we record forever.
What the Rock's cooking.
Yeah, Larry, I know you love The Rock. He'd be number 1 on your list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rock didn't even make my list. He's a great guy. I love him. But he was much. I enjoyed him much better as a heel than when he's a corporate guy and all that. But after a while, he just got tiring too. You know,
give me a break.
Rock
doesn't make the list, but Don Morocco does.
Yeah, right. Did The Rock ever eat a sandwich when he's beating somebody? No.
Probably.
The original Rock makes the list, Larry, not the new Rock.
Yeah, the copy. But I love The Rock. He's a great guy, and you know he could be on my list. But I wanted to highlight some lesser-known fellas. But all that stuff with the strudel and all the catchphrases. After a while, they got a little tired. You know.
Yeah, I agree. It went a little bit too far at times. And like his new run that he just made with Cena, he was getting on my nerves. I'll give you that.
I didn't even see it. But all right, my number 2. I'd like to play the music a little bit, Larry. So just hit it real quick. I'm sure Lance will recognize it. Kurt Angle.
You suck.
Yeah.
You suck. Yeah, Kurt Angle.
I love Kurt Angle, and I feel bad because I don't even watch him on TNA because who cares about TNA? But Kurt Angle back in the day was great, and it's even more tremendous when you realize how far he came because everyone knows he's Olympic champion and everything. But Lance, do you remember after the Olympics he tried to get into Pittsburgh sportscasting around here doing like local news? And he would do the commercials. He was terrible on the mic. Like he couldn't talk. He would stutter and stammer. Like he couldn't be a sports anchor on the news. He just couldn't read or talk or anything. He was terrible. And then fast forward a few years, he's one of the best guys on the mic ever in wrestling. He was giving, he's just great. But besides that, in the ring, he was tremendous. You know, he's one of the best performers ever, just technically in the ring that you can ever ask for, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that finishing ankle hold thing was gay, though.
Oh, I love the ankle lock. It's great.
That was stupid.
The Olympic slam. Oh, bang.
Let me
The
ask
three
you
eyes.
this. I don't know. Let me ask you guys this thing. When you were researching your list, because when I was researching mine, did you find did you go and research other people's top lists and find Owen Hart on there a lot and wonder why?
No, I didn't research anyone else's list.
I saw that too, Larry, and yeah, that's. I mean, he's good, but my God, like one guy's list, he was like 21st all time.
Yeah, he was even higher than on some other list I saw, and I'm thinking, if Owen Hart doesn't die in the ring that night, he's not even on this list. It's just because he's dead.
Where do these people have Angle all time? Because in my money, he's up there.
Well, I saw Angle up at number 3.
Yeah, that's right. It's got to be.
And
Ric Flair is always number 1, right? They always say Flair.
Not always, no.
Well, who's number 1? It's not Flair.
Hogan sometimes.
Oh, come on. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Lou
saw one
Lou Thez, I know I saw on the one
old
list,
school, yeah, Lou Thez.
Yeah.
But Angle, he's just the best. I love him. All right, number 1. Lance,
my number 1 will be the guy you just mentioned, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. I mean,
I respect Flair, but he was just never one of my favorites or anything. But I mean, he's the guy. He's like the Wayne Gretzky of wrestling, right? That's a good comparison, I'd say. Right?
Hey, I hate Gretzky, so
Yeah.
don't compare him to him. He's Little Mew of wrestling.
Oh, all right. There you go. But Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. Yeah, his interviews are always great. Do you know what's this little spiel he does about jet flying, limousine riding?
I'm a limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun. I think he had some more stuff. With that Space Mountain, of course, as always. The girls are going to take a ride on Space Mountain. Woo!
And the other great thing about the figure 4 leg lock, of course, great finishing hold. In every match, he'd weaken the person's leg. That was always great. Taking it out on the leg. He'd be weakening the leg, softening up the leg for the figure 4. But you can't mention Ric Flair without mentioning the head first run into the turnbuckle. He'd flip over it, land on the ring, run down and get clotheslined.
Exactly. Yeah, that was patented Flair. Yeah.
Or he'd get punched silly and he'd be staggering around the ring like boxing nobody and then fall flat on his face. That was always great.
Whether you like it or you don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
And to beat the man, or to beat a man, you got to beat the man, right, Larry? Is that
Yeah, that's another one.
I think that's how it goes.
Where did you have Ric Flair on your list, Larry?
Number 7.
Wow, see, I didn't think you were a Flair fan.
Yeah, I like Flair. I appreciate Flair.
All right, now I think everyone knows my number 1 if they think about it hard enough. But Larry, hit the music because it's the great music. Hopefully it can still be played, Blog Talk, because we've run long. But hopefully. No.
I am going to flip.
That's 1X.
Okay.
Hit just 1.
Let's see. Oh, all right. Here we go.
Yeah, that's Andy Kaufman's intro music. That music's
great. Yeah.
But for my money, Andy Kaufman, of course, his in-ring ability was he would just eat pile drivers and suplexes. He wasn't our in-ring wrestler, but he was the best on the microphone. He was, I still say, the number 1 heel all time in wrestling. Just working with Jerry Lawler down in Memphis, Tennessee. And we do have the audio clip later. Maybe we'll play that after we go out, after Brass Bonanza. Play that other clip because it's him ripping on Lawler, and then he sings, "I'm the King" in Memphis, Tennessee. But yeah,
just the washing the potatoes and scrubbing the carrots. Is that speech?
No, it's not that speech because that's about the ladies when he's wrestling the ladies.
Okay.
That speech. But Lance, Andy Kaufman, he's the best, right? You gotta love him.
Well, I did. They used to play on Comedy Central. I'm from Memphis. I'm from Hollywood. I'm sorry. I'm from
Hollywood. Yeah, I've got the brain. I'm from Hollywood.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, it's really good. That's a really good thing to see. If nobody's seen that, it's a great capsule of the Memphis. Andy Kaufman stuff.
He was just so good at getting the crowd irate, like engaging the crowd, and they just wanted to kill him, and he was the best heel ever. And Lance, as we record this show, I'm looking at my bookshelf, and you know what I'm staring at? Well, an Andy Kaufman biography, I look at it there, but also an Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler action figure set that you were kind enough to give me.
Oh, well, I do what I can, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's great.
You have a neck brace? Yeah,
he's got the neck brace on, because the pile driver. Andy Kaufman, the best wrestling heel ever. and one of my personal heroes, so that makes him the number one on my list. So yeah, there it is, our top 11 wrestlers. Any comments, Larry?
Yeah, I figured he was going to be on your list, which is gay. So, yeah. All right.
Well, anyone we missed, Larry, that was on your list that you want to mention?
All right, I'll read my list real quick. Number 11, Big Show. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Number 10, the Honky Tonk Man. Number 9, Jake the Snake.
Yeah, I almost had him on my list.
Number 8, Ravishing Rick Rude.
Wow. You're gay.
Number 7, Ric Flair. Number 6, Roddy Piper. Number 5, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 4, Scott Hall. Number 3, Hulk Hogan. Number 2, Stacy Keibler. And at number 1, The Rock.
I don't know if Stacy Keibler counts, really. But sorry.
Oh, she counts. If Andy Kaufman counts, Stacy Keibler counts. She was
probably
held the title.
Our top 11 wrestlers. And God, rest in peace there, Macho Man. Godspeed, my friend. All right, Lance, thank you so much for calling in because we enjoy your wrestling expertise. But in the summer months, Larry wants to do a regular wrestling segment with you. Are you up for that?
I agree.
Yeah, we can do a semi-regular segment, I'm sure. So yeah, I'll be back, guys. I appreciate having me on.
And tell your buddy's website again. Mention it.
Oh yeah, it's ProWrestlingPlayByPlay.com, and that's maybe I'll even have him try to call in sometime. He usually works Wednesday nights, but he's a good.
Does he ever write about old school wrestling or do profiles of old wrestlers or anything?
Not yet. He just started up the website, so he might do some old stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because I love reading about old time wrestling. Can't get enough of it. Yeah.
Lance, do you want people to follow you on the Twitters?
If they want, they
you
can
never
follow
tweet.
me on the
You never
Twitter.
Twitter anything. You tweet like one thing a month.
Yeah, but so does Larry.
It's important. What is it?
I'm at Horseplaya, PLAYA 71, one word.
Horseplaya. Now, how did the Preakness pay off for you? Did you win any money?
No, it figures the Shackelford. I bet Shackelford in the Derby, but went away from the Preakness, and yeah, you know how that went.
Because I got to tell you, Lance's fantasy would be like if horses could wrestle, and if they were Canadian, he would be
if they were doing it in Canada, yeah.
You put those three things together, and Lance would be extremely happy. Canadian horses wrestling.
And the call to the post was the lonely end of the rink by the Tragically Hip. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Tragically.
Yeah. Yeah, you can follow Lance on the Damashek message boards as lonely end of the rink.
That's right. He's over on damashek.com as well. All right, Lance. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. And,
all right.
Yeah, you Twittered me the other day. Don't be a stranger. Keep Twittering me.
Will do. Yeah. All right. Take care, guys.
All right, Lance. Thanks. There he goes. Lance Miller. No relation to Ed Miller.
No. And no relation to the Ultimate Warrior either, who we got to thank.
Yeah, thanks, the Ultimate Warrior. That was nice. You don't get to talk to a wrestling superstar like that every day. Got to thank Matt for calling in to talk hockey because that meant Larry didn't have to. Also, Larry, I want to mention this Friday, I will be appearing on a conspiracy radio show called The Stench of Truth.
The Stench of Truth. Where's that at? Blog Talk?
Yeah, it's on the Blog Talk. It's a 2-hour show, and this fellow wants to talk to me for 2 hours.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So
now let me ask you this: when is this show? Friday night? Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night 7 to 9 is when it'll be recorded live, and then I'll Twitter it out and whatnot.
Now let me ask you this:
Uh-huh.
Does he take callers?
I don't think. Why, are you gonna call?
Do you want me to call and heckle a little bit? Like I won't, I
want to do like an Andy Kaufman, Bob Zamuda thing? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
No, it's all right. We'll be fine. I'm planning to talk about Kurt Cobain. Because I love talking about Kurt Cobain. And that ties into your monologue joke. And then I want to talk about Edgar Allan Poe and the mysterious circumstances
my monologue joke
of his death. Now, on the show, we've talked about Cobain, and I'm going to talk about Charles Lindbergh and probably Shakespeare. We've talked about those three on the show, but I've never talked about Edgar Allan Poe on the show. So if you want to hear some Edgar Allan Poe stuff, tune in Friday night.
Can I skip over that part?
No. You got to listen to that. It'll be great. So we'll hopefully do like 4 chunks of 30-minute conspiracies. So
and he has commercials or something, correct?
I hope to God he does, but I've listened to a couple of his shows. He's a nice fella. He's a real quiet and humble guy, and he's smart. But the shows I heard, he didn't have commercials. So I don't know what 2 hours. I mean, it's fine, me and you yapping for 2 hours, Larry. We can do it. But me and a guy I've never known before, it's going to be kind of rough, right?
Yeah, it's going to be real rough. That's why you need Larry to call in and break up the tension.
I'm going to try and bust some balls. Do you want to come in and crack wise? Do you want to come on the show too?
No.
You can be my sidekick. You know,
I
we're like a tag.
don't have nothing to say. You know, like
it's all right. We're like a tag team. It's like Jack and Meg White. You know, Jack goes and Meg follows. She doesn't say anything. It's no big deal.
All right. Well, I mean, if you want me to just sit on the line and listen, I will. I can do that. I can pull a Jim Iovino.
Yeah. No, it's all right. So yeah, it's Friday night, 7 to 9. The Stench of Truth. I'll link to it.
7 to 9.
After it's recorded. So yeah, you can just listen to it.
No. I'm telling you. Do not let in on the fact that you might know me. All I'm going to say.
No, I can't pull that stuff off. I love Andy Kaufman, but I can't be Andy Kaufman. You know, I can't.
I'm just saying. Don't just ignore the caller. I'll talk to whatever this kid's name is. What's
Ted.
his kid? Chris.
His name is Ted.
Ted.
Yeah.
How old's Ted?
He seems like he's an older fellow, like our age or older. He's not like some kid.
All right.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. All right. Next Wednesday, what are we doing, Mike Dell? How about nothing? How about a break?
I don't know. We'll think of something, right?
Yeah. A break. And then the week after that, another break. And then John Hamm. And John Hamm will be on in 3 weeks. So tune in for that one.
And if we still have the switchboard, don't forget to play that Andy Kaufman clip. I
will do that, of course. And I guess that's it. We thanked everybody. I got nothing. We'll be back next Wednesday. Until then, pass the gin, Governor.
Until I hear silence, I do not get in the ring. I want complete silence! Right now! Complete silence! I know a lot of you don't like me. Well, I'm going to give you a little present tonight. Because I'm from Hollywood and I'm in show business and I get paid a lot of money to do what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to sing you a little song. Oh, I'm the king. Oh, I'm the king. I'm the new king of Memphis, Tennessee. I knocked that longer out last week. I'm gonna knock him out again. Yeah, I'm the king of Tennessee. I'm the king of wrestling, Tennessee. I knocked that longer out. I'm gonna knock him out again. Yeah, I'm just not shooting you to move out. Yeah.
Thank you very much.